Welcome to our reality, everyone. I don't know why you're here, but I am glad you are. I almost messed up the intro. That doesn't usually happen. But we're here to talk about even more Big Brother 27. We had quite the week in the Big Brother 27 house. We sat here last Tuesday, leaving off with Rylie going onto the block as the renom on the block against Morgan and Mickey. And on Thursday night, we saw Mickey win the BlockBuster competition, leaving Morgan and Rylie on the block. And miraculously, in a 5-4 vote, Rylie was sent packing. And I feel like I need to start off this podcast by playing a video of us talking about the Rylie vote last week. And I said something while frozen on the screen that came back to haunt me. And I should have known with Big Brother 27. So here was that, especially for Rylie, getting Rylie out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to assume, like, if this cast somehow evicts Rylie, like, in 2 days, I'm really going to be lost on, like, covering the show or just, like, talking about TV in general at that point, because I clearly don't understand the plot of what's happening anymore. And of course, like clockwork, Rylie was sent packing on Thursday night. And here we are to recap not only that eviction, but the week that followed, because following that, to catch everybody up, we saw Vince win the HOH wall competition on Thursday night. If you watch the live feeds on Sunday night's episode, if you watch the episode. And then at the end of Sunday night's episode, we saw him nominate Ava, Kelly, and Mickey for eviction. And then future spoilers for everybody, Mickey ended up winning the power of veto. And as of yesterday, on the block, replacing Mickey, it was between Catherine and Rachel. So make your final guesses, because it was, in fact, Catherine who ended up on the block. So that's where we sit currently in Big Brother 27. And we're going to catch up on everything. We're going to discuss what's going on, the mess, watch some clips. It'll be great. We are live here on YouTube, so hop in the chat if you are here. Welcome, everyone, if you're already here. And if you're watching after the fact, there hopefully will be timestamps, so feel free to click around if you want to do so. My name is Barrett, if you're joining us here for the very first time. And joining me, as always, is my esteemed Big Brother colleagues, the Nick City and the Zach Perez, here to talk about Big Brother with all of us. And Nick, I'm going to come to you first, because a miracle amongst all miracles, Rylie leaves the house on Thursday night. A really fun eviction episode to watch. A lot of unexpectedness happening, whether it's Mickey winning the BlockBuster, whether it's Rylie getting evicted, and everyone changing their votes that needed to change their votes. So Nick, what did you think of the eviction episode on Thursday, and just how excited were you to see the future of this game, if you were excited at all, I guess?
Yes, I was excited, Barrett. Of course I was. I don't think anyone who watches this show wasn't excited, because even the casual people I know were like, hell yeah. Like everyone I feel like was pretty much in unison with this. That was like top tier television. Like, it was so friggin' good. I went into that episode fully thinking Rylie was staying. Like, I was like, I do not have any faith in this cast, especially given their history of making very not smart decisions. So I was like, they're gonna end up keeping Rylie, and it is what it is. I was even arguing with my friends about it, like, pre-episode. I was like, he's not going anywhere. Like, shut up. And Lord behold, like, wow, it was good. Like, that was the way they even like set the episode up, where it was like tied going into the commercial, and then it came back, and then it was like the Rylie votes start pouring in, and I was like, this I audibly gasped. Like, it was crazy. I was so happy. I was into it. I was living. I think my favorite episode of the season so far.
Whoa. Okay. We're about, we're
Yeah.
halfway through the season now, episode wise, especially. So now we can claim it as your favorite. That's fine. I mean, we were even talking about last week, like the day 44, the day 45. That's when the crazy things typically start
Mm-hmm.
kicking off in Big Brother. We always inevitably have something wild. So for that, a couple of days after that, to then have someone that we expected to at least make it to jury, that everyone loved, to just get evicted. Same thing with kind of Zach's eviction. To have that, it's like something that was so unexpected that we should have expected it for this season. So I'm right there with you. Zach, I'm gonna come to you next because you also didn't seem to believe that Rylie was gonna be going home as the votes were even coming in. You didn't even want to watch the episode in person or just in your own home by yourself. It seemed you were out at a restaurant. We're texting in the group chat, and I said, Zach, if Rylie gets evicted, I need a video react. And you're like, okay, I'm at a restaurant, but I don't remember what you said around that. It didn't seem like you were confident. But then the votes start pouring in, and after Rylie gets evicted, I get this video in our group chat. So Zach, I'll come to you next. Talk to me about the Thursday night's episode. What did you think of Rylie getting evicted from this house, and your excitement level with it?
I mean, I'm trying to think of the last time we actually had like a live vote flip happen, like that genuinely was not like before or like we going into it like, ooh, it's gonna be close, like, but we know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I was just shocked. Like, I was just like, if we're gonna be with this guy another week, he's probably gonna win the next competition because he's so freaking lanky and all this stuff. And also, we didn't realize until literally the episode was ending that it was the wall comp, which is another off thing. But I'm glad, and obviously he made the right decision because we haven't heard from the man since. And maybe he's suing Big Brother. Apparently, I've heard those rumors and all this stuff. But like, it's live feeds. Nothing's been tampered with. If anything, CBS gave him a great edit by making him look normal, somewhat.
Yeah.
But I'm excited because he was up against Morgan, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And up until 24 hours, I think, before the eviction, I could not stand Morgan, and I could not stand Vince. I still don't stand Vince, but mind you, so much went into the 24 hours. And then the thing about this cast too, and Vinny especially, is he blows smoke up everyone's ass. So we don't know what's real and what's not. So we didn't even know if the alliance that he formed was a real thing. So
right. Yeah,
I'm just glad that it happened, though.
Yes, thrilled that it happened. It was a very exciting vote. I mean, not often do we get a 5-4 vote or just a vote that is that close in general. And the fact that it took everyone that needed to vote that way, voting that way, was, I thought, just impressive and really, really unexpected. And I agree, Trell. Yeah, we never got the shot of Morgan being faked out by Julie. Me and Nick were talking about that. It looked like the camera operator also didn't know that Julie was going to do the fake out because we went right for the push in. And we'll watch that clip in a second. But I do want to talk about the judges since you brought that up, Zach, because we did have this alliance that was formed just mere days before this vote. That was the most critical thing that could have happened. We see Rachel nominate Rylie. We're sitting here just like, oh my God, well, Rachel's game is pretty much done. Everyone's mad at her. But as we see the pitches kind of go along, Rachel's really pushing this idea that, showmances and jury are trouble. A showmance and jury is 2 votes. Brendan pretty much convinced the entire season 13 jury that I should win the game. And it really starts to come together from that argument, which is not something I expected to happen at all. I don't know if a lot of people did, but this group comes together, this ragtag group of Rachel, Morgan, Vince, Ashley, and Will, where you have Vince and Morgan, who were just on the block, or Morgan still on the block from Rachel, and Vince, who was just on the block from Rachel, coming together to do this. And it's such an unlikely, pairing of people. And here's the funniest thing about it. They still didn't have the votes with this group because one person is HOH and another person is still on the block. So the fact that they were able to do this and grab Ava, drag her into this vote, and have Mickey kind of look over this adoration that she has for Rylie for some reason. Thankfully, it was against Morgan, and have her vote out Rylie as well. which is great. So, Nick, what did you think of this alliance forming in this scenario? And did you think this is at all going to work, just with the numbers that they had with them at the moment?
So I remember this alliance forms like literally right after we all got off of
Yeah.
this like last week. And I thought it was like really smart, and but I wasn't. Vinny was the one person where I was like, I don't know what he's gonna do, right? Especially because Lauren just pulled him down, and now this alliance means that Vinny would now have to vote against what Lauren wants, and Lauren literally just like saved him. So I was very skeptical on the whole thing. I was like, I don't know. But like it like makes sense in a weird way too, right? Like I don't to me, this was exactly how this side gets Vinny's vote. Making this like alliance or whatever the hell like you want to call it, because I don't even know if this is, well, you know what, I say that, right? Like I don't know if this is real, but like I feel like after this week this seems a little bit more real now, given like what happened. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I don't know. It was interesting to me. To me, it felt very like convenient, like for Morgan, where it was like, oh, like this is exactly what Morgan needs to happen in order for her to stay. And it worked out like that. But yeah, Vinny was the one person where I was like, he's the one where I'm like, I don't see him doing this, but he did it. And then, you know, everything that happened this week makes me be like, maybe this is like the alliance of the season now.
It at least was the alliance of the moment,
It
of
was.
to evict. It was the alliance to evict Rylie, because you're right. I'm not super confident in this alliance past this week. I
Yeah.
obviously we saw Vince align with this alliance again this week, but it took like days of back and forth in order for him
Yep.
to stay committed to this alliance. And you bring up a good point that Vince doesn't seem like he wanted to upset Lauren, who just took him off the block with the veto. But here's the thing about Vince is that he's way more afraid to upset Rachel than he is to upset Lauren, because he's
As
way
he
more
should be.
scared of Rachel. And that's how Vince seems to operate, is just like, how do I not get anyone mad at me at any point, especially Rachel? And that's what won the day. And that speaks to Rachel's like knowing her place in this game, and knowing that she needs to be confident all of the time. Because it scares people like Vince into not doing things against her, even when she just nominated him, and Vince has every reason to nominate Rachel. And in fact, going as
Exactly.
far as to this week, I am really getting ahead of myself, nominating Ava on the pretense of, oh, you were HOH and nominated me, and Ava being like, that's fair, but nobody being like, wait, two people nominated you though,
Yeah.
and then one of them's not on the block. But yeah, and that there's a lot that can go into Rachel's stance in the game right now. But Zach, I want to talk to you. What did you think about the judges forming?
I mean, I even said like whenever it was sent, I was part of me was like, wait, I kind of like this alliance, but then it felt very convenient, and then I was just thinking to myself, I mean, the main reason why, because I wish Ava was included in this. I mean, uh, just for a number, but and I feel like she could be, because who is she with really? And if she would have been included in this with the alliance, then we would have been more firm in the fact of um knowing that this was going to happen, or that where the votes were going to go, because Ava's still free floater kind of thing. But I, I like it. Like mainly I feel like the three people that I like the most, obviously Rachel, or two people. Ashley's hit or miss for me. Like, one minute she's great, the next minute she's trying to get Rachel out, and I'm just like, what?
Mhm.
But Will and Rachel being in it, I'm just like, okay, I'm here for it. And Ashley sometimes. And then if you would have told me 2 weeks ago I would be rooting for an alliance that had Morgan and Vince in it, I would have thought you were fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And here I am. And this week especially, I feel like for Vince too, like in my head, I'm just like, I was preparing myself for the worst. He's going to nominate Rachel. He's going to nominate Rachel. Why wouldn't he nominate Rachel? She literally nominated him and all this stuff. But then I started to think about it. I'm just like, listening to Morgan too spew straight facts, mind you, uh, which I really think this is good for Vince, like in general, like because thinking about versus his alternative being Catherine and Lauren, Kelly and Keanu. Lauren's different. Well, Lauren and Catherine are different, but Kelly and Keanu, like, they're competing right now for the most annoying house guest in ever for the things that they're doing. And I feel like this is really in a good thing for Vince, especially thinking about last week and putting that into it. Even that, like, it's good for him because the 5, I feel like these 4 people, especially, I feel like they'd want to go with Vince further than 5 too. Like, not saying this is going to make it that far, but even looking, say this is the final 5. There really isn't. I mean, there are some people, like, I really don't know who would make it to the final 2 out of that.
Which is exactly why half of these people do not need this to be the final 5. Like, there is no reason anybody in this alliance should want this to be the final 5, though. Like, Rachel doesn't need Vince. Nobody needs Vince in the final 5 in the same way that nobody needs Rachel in the final 5. I think Will could easily make it to final 5. I think Ashley can easily make it to final 5 if everyone stops hating her for a couple of weeks. Or if there's like, or at least like a couple of weeks where she doesn't do anything to just piss everyone off. And then Morgan, I go back and forth every day because I never expected her to climb into this alliance with Rachel after the week that they had together. And so the fact that she was able to pivot and be that flexible was really impressive to me. And for all the faults that Morgan can have in a game and overlooking allies that don't trust her as much as she trusts them, and just seemingly going off on her own, seemingly like being way more confident in her game and it backfiring with her at every turn. The fact that this all worked out was amazing to me. And the fact that Vince voted out someone that he really should have. He should have voted out Rylie. Rylie was not going to be good for his game long term anyway. The fact that he was so pained to do the thing that was better for him while not thinking it was better for it was so weird to watch play out. And y'all were right. Y'all brought up that like we didn't know what Vince was gonna do, and we didn't have like a DR going into that vote. And I thought that was so critical. We saw the judges forum, and in that scene we didn't see anything from Vince. We saw everything from everyone else about how excited they were at this forum, and we didn't see a single DR from Vince. So it was that, I don't know if that was on purpose or what, but we went into that vote not having any idea about like Vince's true thoughts, because when he talks to people in the game, he's just going to tell them what they want to hear. And so we're always left with this weird, like, what is he thinking all the time? So the fact that he went in there, voted for Rylie, Ava goes in there, votes for Rylie, Mickey goes in there, votes for Rylie. And I know people are like, Mickey was always going to vote for Rylie, but I second guess that a lot. Her and Morgan do not get along in the way that
especially with
they probably should.
If you're on the block, I'm going to vote to keep you. Or it's to who'd you say that to, Rylie or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then it's like, wait, if you're not on the block, or if you're on the block, then wait, what?
Yeah. And Joseph, I don't completely disagree with you. Like, I don't think this cast was specifically put on here to be like dumbed down to let Rachel win. I also think that they are not playing to their abilities, and it's letting Rachel skate by. So both can kind of be true there.
Well, even okay, looking at them individually, who is everyone's ideal final 5?
Ideal final 5 out of this cast. Let me pull them up again. So,
looking at Ava,
everyone's ideal final 5.
Well,
like, what do you want?
Mainly the judges. Mainly the judges. Like, think about it from like Rachel's point of view.
Yeah,
I think those are besides Vince.
Yeah, if you are Rachel in this game, you need like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you're Rachel in the game, I think
I'm Rachel. I'm not concerned about like specific people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think she would love to have someone like Ashley, Ava, Will, I mean,
Yeah.
I think Keanu was going to be a really good option for her because Keanu has no idea what's happening all of the time and he can win competitions. That's why he was going to be that perfect ally, I think, for her. Absolutely was in the past, not coming back. But I think she would love to have like Will, maybe like Lauren, Ava, Ashley, and Keanu. If she was up against Lauren in the final two and they were giving speeches against each other, I think that would be like her dream scenario.
I feel like Lauren gives off like maybe not Gina Marie, but like Holly final speeches.
That is saying something, Zach. I don't know if I would go that
Zach.
far.
Let's relax.
I'm talking. Well, no, I'm not. I'm just saying. I don't think
Both
she's
of
going to be
those
good.
people, I feel like, are wildly different that you just mentioned in final.
Okay.
Two
Okay.
speeches.
How about this? Not
In final
great.
two
How about that?
speeches.
How about that?
Okay.
Well, they both didn't.
Sure.
Well,
Lauren
there-
is
it's not
giving
gonna-
me
yeah.
Mackenzie, if I'm being honest, but
I don't think. I think Lauren needs to win a few more competitions, but she's on her way. She won OTEV. That Mackenzie won
least-
OTEV. She won an HOH.
so to Mackenzie.
So okay, yeah,
At
we can
least
be on the way.
Lauren. At least Lauren actually is thinking about doing good things versus. Well, what does Chelsea want me to do?
Yeah, I don't think that Lauren would make the $750,000 mistake that Mackenzie made in the final three.
You're right,
So-
because Lauren would have to go check with Vince and see what he wanted to do first. So
Yes, you need to run out into the stage where Vince presumably is on the jury, but
Wait, what do I say? What do I say this question?
No, that's not to dog on Mackenzie too much. She's $50,000 richer than I am, or 75,000, whatever it
stand.
is. I
My-
can't remember.
my client.
Yeah.
And she's dating the first boot of the season. Like, are
yeah.
you?
No. And so, anyway, let's watch some clips.
Sorry,
I want
got
to.
sidetracked.
You want to watch the votes for Rylie real quick?
Yes.
Let's see.
I don't think there were there any shout outs. Go ahead.
Will Mickey make
This
good
doesn't
on
include the
saving her
shout-outs, I don't
ally
think.
Morgan?
Oh, okay.
You have some
Mickey wasn't as
business here.
exciting.
I have some business.
Thank you. This is
I'm gonna go into
Vince's
Vince's.
worst nightmare. What will he do?
That's always Vince in the game. It's
Hello,
always his
Vince.
worst nightmare.
Hey, Julie.
Please cast your vote
Hey,
to
Julie.
evict.
I'm so sorry, man. I vote to evict Rylie.
Thank you.
Ooh,
Ashley has been working.
I'm gonna skip Ashley.
Hello, your vote to evict.
Sorry.
Enough to send Rylie
She didn't run back in this
packing?
time. I can skip it.
Please cast your vote to evict.
My king.
I vote to evict Rylie.
Thank
All
you.
right.
After an emotional
Now the real one.
HOH reigned
This is-
last week,
yeah, this
Ava has
is
stayed
TV right here.
clear of the drama. But will she stir up drama with her vote tonight? Hi, Ava.
Hi, Julie.
Please cast your vote to evict.
I really can't do Mickey. Okay, I
No,
vote
you
to,
cannot. Nice try.
I vote to evict. I vote to evict. Rylie.
Oh,
By a
man.
vote of 5 to 4, Morgan, you are safe. Rylie, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
What was the last time she did something like that?
Well,
I don't know.
yes, Zach. Okay, I'm so glad. I want to talk about the fake out for like 2 seconds, because like, first of all, I am so upset we didn't see Morgan's reaction out
Yeah.
of that whole thing. But I was saying to Barrett too before we went live, like the people in the house like do not watch the show, so they were probably like, "What the hell is going on?" As she like just did that, because like, when was the last time Julie did do that exactly? So I'm sure that no one in there other than Rachel was like, "Oh, like they've done this before."
Yeah.
So
I
I
really
like
can't
love
remember.
that she did that. Absolutely loved it. Julie did the whole like
'Cause-
flip the script thing.
Because I'm
Yeah.
trying to.
No, I feel like Julie is typically good for that in close votes. But you're right. I don't feel like I remember her doing it last year. She may have. She very well could have, and I just don't remember. At least I think the context also helped us just ingrain this moment of her faking them out, just because we were also kind of faked out by the vote, not thinking that Rylie was going to be going. So I like that she did that, and that's why I think like she just did it in the moment. She was like, I think I'm just going to do the fake out, because she read it so quickly. Then it didn't have like it didn't seem like it was rehearsed. So it was just, that was really fun. And Ava's vote is so interesting to me, because she starts off joking about like, oh, I can't do Mickey, and then laughs, and then like she just goes, all right, I vote to evict, and then just like stops. Just like the realization of like, oh wait, I forgot that I don't remember who I was gonna vote out. And then last night, not last night, Sunday night on the episode showing Ava, because we saw on Thursday night, once the votes came back, Ava's just like on the floor, or Rachel's on the floor, comforting Ava about her vote. And then we saw on Sunday night's episode, the actual, just like once she realized, just like sitting down, she's like, fuck all of you. Like, I hate all of you for making me do this. And just having like, I can't remember who called it, just a full blown panic attack. But
little does she know, I feel like she'll come out here and be like, oh, I actually did the right thing.
Yes, yeah, and that's what's so wild about this, is everyone's gonna come out of this house and realize how much like people loved this vote, and to the point where I'm gonna find a clip that we're having like watch parties, and people are jumping out of their chairs celebrating. There was where was the watch party? I know I liked it. Oh, the watch party that Nick almost went to, apparently.
I was supposed to go to this.
I want to evict,
I can't believe this is actually real.
I know. Yeah, it's like it's literally the meme of people in the bar, like flipping out of the TV screen, but in real life, and actually with Big Brother this time.
I remember whenever
bar, Big Brother watch parties. So.
I remember whenever it was Team USA or Team America, where it was like, I think I want to say apple pie. Well, that is an overwhelming no.
I loved that, actually. I totally forgot about that. That was TV.
Yeah, that's a great moment in the midst of us being so frustrated that everyone just refuses to save Donnie. Like, like, no, I think they want to play though, right? Oh, Zach, you looked really cool for a second.
That was crazy.
Your camera did like a cool pattern. It was really fun. But yeah, that vote was wild. I was nervous. Obviously, Zach, you went and recorded that video. I'm trying to think if there was... The eviction itself is like another like 2 minutes of everyone just hugging and crying before Julie had to like kick people out. Like, I feel like every eviction so far, it's just been, let's hug for 5 minutes until Julie has to force you to leave the house. And to me, I'm like, why isn't Rachel just been like, hey, y'all, this is not how it works. Like, you got to go. Like, like Jimmy has been the only one, right, so far that's actually left before Julie having to tell him to leave. Like, I mean, minus the vote. Reed, of course, she tells him to leave then. But you know what I mean. So that was strange. Yeah. But everything with Riley's was just...
Rylie, I'm going to need you to leave now. We are waiting for you.
Yeah, we're all waiting for you outside. That was so weird.
That was so awkward.
Yeah.
Us in the restraining order.
And then this is kind of an aside, but at the end of the episode, did y'all feel like that Boston Rob, Derek, Taylor segment was just like, they planned to talk for like at least 5 minutes more, and then they were like, wait, Rylie took too long, so now we have to just awkwardly sit on stage and Julie like riff for a while with them? Because Julie's like, what do you think, Boston Rob? You think you could you think you could play Big Brother? And then after he answered that, Julie just going, what about you, Derek? You think Boston Rob could play Big Brother? Like, I was like, this wasn't supposed to happen. I don't think. It was so weird.
Boston Rob, this wasn't in my contract.
Yeah. But Rylie leaves the house. We have not heard from Rylie since. Like Zach, you said, we might get like a lawsuit from Rylie. Maybe that's in the rumor mill. But it seems that we are done seeing Rylie for the time being. If Rylie shows up at the finale, that's going to be interesting. I feel like
he won't. Ooh.
I think he will show up. It just depends on if they have him talk, you know.
Oh,
And
right.
but after,
was-
it's really weird. Like, what did y'all think of like the Wednesday episode segment between Rylie and Kat? If y'all remember it, it's been a little bit, but it was very strange.
Yeah, I was gonna say I definitely thought it was strange. I did, given as we watched them on the feeds. But like at the same time, like I felt like everyone was kind of like shocked by it, and like I wasn't, just because it's like, when do we ever think the edit is accurate, number one,
Yeah.
and number two, it's the only like showmance that like they have. So I was like, they're gonna like play into it and make it look like they're like this like sweet little, like, there's no other couple in the house. So like, and
Yeah.
CBS loves their showmances. So I was like, I'm sure that they're gonna edit this into some like I don't know, I kind of expected it, I guess, is my
Yeah.
response to it. And I feel like everyone was kind of like, oh my god, I can't believe that. I was like, really? We can't believe that CBS is editing the episode inaccurately? Like,
Yeah.
No,
it's not
it's true.
shocking. So
It's not shocking, but that's the difficult part, is not shocking.
yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was. Go ahead, Zach.
I'm trying to remember the Wednesday, because
There was a lot. You had a pig Oteb. You had its like farting sidekick, and you had the Rylie Cat segment was basically Rylie being like, I think this is like it's just a summer thing for you, and Cat being like, it's not though, and that was like the basis for the segment. And
she's
not
like, it's not though. It's only till you're here.
yeah. But yeah, it was very much I care about you. I have so much love to give, but you don't seem to love me. But it was like painted in the way that like I'm just so passionate. It felt like reading Riley's mom's TMZ comments, and like it made me think that Riley's mom also just has like Adobe Premiere and edited that segment and just sent it to him with the way that it painted Rylie. It was just like, he's got a big heart. He's just got a big heart.
He's just a big old softy.
Yeah, just like excusing all of the
feeds
weird...
are edited.
Yeah, if the feeds are edited, they didn't paint Rylie in the best way then. But yeah, I just thought that was weird, and I'm glad Riley's not in the game anymore. I'm really glad he's not.
Same.
And a lot of alum, I don't know if you saw, for some reason, Big D is always on, or Derek Frazier, DF from 24. He's on my TikTok feed, and like
23.
he did 23, or not 24. He was on there with Leah, and people were saying, on our way to free Catherine from Rylie or something like that. And did you see that TikTok?
I saw
No.
it, yeah, I did. They were like skipping, right?
Yeah. And everyone was calling to, what's it called? Free Catherine.
Yeah.
It makes me want to get ahead to our Facebook Unhinged. There's one comment about Rylie that I can't believe was said. But also,
I mean, he's already a Big Brother legend, so.
True. There was one more clip I wanted to show of Rylie before we stopped talking about him, and it was when he was talking to Vince about how ready he was to get Rachel Rylie out of this game. And I just think it's so funny now.
I'm gonna fucking get your ass out of this house. I'm gonna be the one to take fucking Rachel Rylie out of here. Good. I'm doing it. Good. 100%. And she'll probably be evicted unanimously. I'm doing it.
Anyway,
Right.
that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Sure.
Anything else about that eviction? We didn't talk about the BlockBuster. You want to talk about that real quick?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can we please? 'Cause
Yeah.
What was it? Oh yeah, the freaking. That was
We
very weird one to do, because I feel like. Well, what was gonna? Well, did it say what was gonna happen if there was a tie?
No, and that's what was so crazy for a second. So I'll set it up. I need to find the video of like Julie redoing it. Oh yeah, I found it. So we had our 3 boards. You're rolling your ball. It like goes up to like 40 or something. You're rolling your ball in the straight line. Highest number wins. After you can lock in your answer at any point within the 2 minutes, which is a really weird element of all this. And it kind of was gamed pretty early on, so I thought, because everyone starts going, and Rylie gets like a 29, I think, and just stands there, waits for everyone else to roll. And I'm like, oh, okay, Rylie figured out how to game this game pretty quickly. Refuses to lock in. Then Morgan rolls the same number 29 and then decides to lock in. And I'm like, Morgan, what are you doing? Why are you locking in? And then I was like, oh, wait, well, maybe they didn't get the same one. And then Rylie locks in with the same number right after Morgan does. And I'm like, what is happening? And that's when, it brought up like, okay, well, maybe there can be a tie. And then the camera cuts to everyone wide. And we see that Mickey, in fact, got a way higher score, which makes sense up until the point where you're like, okay, but why did everyone lock in then? It seemed like Rylie was waiting for this exact moment to then keep trying because there was like a minute left, I thought. But anyway, did this confuse all of y'all as it apparently confused everybody else in America?
And Joseph, I was referring to it. It was a tie in this game because
yeah, Joseph's correct though. Morgan would have got it because she buzzed in first. Okay. They did say that. I do remember that because when she went to go buzz in, I was like, Morgan won. Because I took it as like she was running to buzz in first before Rylie could beat her to the buzzer because they were both tied. That's how I was reading that scenario. And then when like the camera panned out and then we saw Mickey, I was like, wait. So I don't think Morgan saw that Mickey had a higher number and then went to go buzz in. I think Morgan was just focused on Rylie is next to me and has this 29, I think it was, or whatever it was. So she ran to go buzz in too before him. But Rylie was where it lost me because I was like, what are you doing? Like, why did he just be like, all right? Like, I was like, what just happened? Like, I think the way that this competition can be easily fixed is that, like, Big Brother just
how they usually do it?
How do they usually do it?
They have a tester, and then after they get done testing, they roll the red ball, and then that's their actual score.
Yes, I know what you mean. Okay, no, I was gonna say, like, for a Blockbuster, right? If they want to give them, it was like, what, 2 minutes or something like that?
Yeah.
Sure, but they should just leave it so that way, like, it keeps track of their highest number. And that way, like, whoever got the highest number first at the end wins. Like, I don't know why they made it, like, the whole buzz-in. Like, that, I feel like that is where it got, like, a little wonky. Because I thought it was, like, a fine, Blockbuster comp. I just think, there was a lot of, like, you had to pay attention to your own thing, but then everyone else at the same time. It just, I don't know, it was, like, too much. And then you had Rylie being able to easily, like, get the 29 and stand there for, like, a minute, and then I don't know, it was just very like, it was weird. And I don't think it was rigged. Like,
no.
Please.
Oh, no.
I think
that
was so stupid. And like, no, I know you guys didn't say that, but I feel like a lot of people have been talking about this Blockbuster in terms of like, it was rigged and this, that. And apparently like Mickey, I saw the clip where Mickey said like the ball was rigged. And that's like literally not what she meant to say. She was like saying like the ball was rigid or something like that. She misspoke. And people took that clip of her and they were like, oh my God, she said the ball is rigged. I was like, yeah, she did say that, but that's not what she meant to say. She was talking about the like literal ball. Like, it was just so weird.
Can you imagine if someone full on said the ball was rigged and that's how they worded it?
Like, literally on the live feeds. Like, come on. Like, really?
If I ever get on there, that's what I'm going to say. I'm like, oh, this is so rigged, or like, oh, this is rigged, and then everyone's gonna be like, see, he said it was rigged, so that it's obvious that's it.
There's a reason why everyone who claims that these competitions are rigged don't watch the live feeds, because they would realize how many opportunities that person would have to say like, oh yeah, and it was rigged, or the other person in the competition being like, oh yeah, and then they rigged it for Mickey. Like, I mean, there's no possible way you could get away with it. However, setting up competitions to favor certain house guests happens all the time.
What?
Used to, doesn't anymore. Definitely not anymore.
But, and not only that, thinking about it, like, who are they rigging it for? Mickey?
Yeah, Mickey, who hasn't won a competition up to that point.
To make sure Rylie goes home, essentially.
And that's not even guaranteed.
Like, that's what, like, the whole thing is. Like, people think that, like, the DR tipped off Rachel to nominate Rylie, and then the ball was rigged so that way. It's like, y'all think that, like, if they wanted someone out of the house that bad, they would just remove them. Rylie didn't do anything as vile as some of the other people in the house have in past seasons that did not get removed, that did not get that kind of like riggage against them. Aaron from friggin' 15 or whatever it was, she won a bajillion competitions. Like, if they wanted to rig the game against people, like, I just think people are like way too into like the conspiracy theories, and
Go
it's
touch
like
grass.
not. It's just not that serious in my opinion, because like
Yeah.
given the history of the show, it's not rigged. Like, so like I don't want to say it's not rigged, but there are certain things that, like, how could they possibly have rigged that? They told Mickey,
No.
go put your ball in the 38 thing, and Morgan and
Yeah.
Rylie just looked at it and saw it and just didn't. Like, that does not make sense at all. Like,
No.
Well,
it's
she
just,
wasn't
I
on
don't
the
get
camera,
it.
so we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
but
what
they
it
have a
boils
bajillion cameras, so like they would like. I know you're just, you know, playing devil's advocate, Zach, but like it's just like I don't think people fully like to use logic when it comes to conspiracy theories sometimes.
No,
In general,
that's
not
why it's a
just Big Brother,
conspiracy.
but yeah.
I put more stock in Helen was pushed than this being rigged. So,
Yeah.
Sure, and I don't put much stock into that either as someone who watched that comp live. But
I agree with Joseph though. It's weird that we didn't see Mickey roll the ball that got to 34.
I agree.
I think they, like,
why
had-
didn't they,
they
show
were
us the clip?
I want to think they were so not confident that Mickey was gonna
Yeah.
win that like,
I mean-
or she was beginning to like suck so bad before hitting that
Yeah.
34. But I think what it boils down to is that these house guests are so bad at this game and so illogical with the way that they play that this season gives off rigged vibes all the time because they are doing everything that is against their own best interest every single day. And I think that's more of what is happening here. And it's a case by case basis every single day of how much
Yeah.
nobody wants to win this game, it seems.
one of my friends as a casual was like saying that he saw like, how do you feel about the Rylie eviction? Like, people were saying that like, Rachel was tipped off and all this. I'm like, why does it matter? Like, and not only that, like, look at the people Rachel had available to nominate.
Yeah. And like,
Yeah.
think about it too. Like, her nominating Rylie like makes sense without the context of what was going on in terms of like the fans. Like, what, because the fans don't like Rylie, like the DR is gonna be like, hey Rachel, put him up. People don't like him. Like, that just does not make sense. Like, it does not, because like, given the history of the show, unlikable people can go very far because they're in the house, they're secluded, they're doing their own thing. And it's just like, Lauren didn't even know if she was like, Lauren told Rachel at the very last second that she was using the veto too. So it's like,
Exactly.
what was production gonna call Rachel in the set? Like, it just like does not make sense from people who are actually following the show. And I feel like that's why it like frustrates me, because it's like, no, like if you are actually following the show and you're watching what's going on, you know that like Rachel wasn't tipped off to nominate Rylie. That just does not make sense. Like,
Yes.
And it's even hard to tell people who think that it's rigged. I'm like, because like I was trying to tell people, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why, because especially with this strategic stuff that's going on, it's like, I can't, like, going back to Jimmy being nominated, I can't tell you why, because like, we don't know why. We don't know
Right.
why he was evicted.
right. It doesn't make sense because they're all just doing dumb things. Like,
Yeah. I saw like someone even just trying to like say that they were speed running the Mickey villain edit just because they've gone the entire show without really painting Mickey as the villain until like last week. And so it was really funny to watch that, and then probably like even more so have to be like, oh, we should evict Rylie, because it was that fast even to us. We didn't know that Rylie was going to go on the block. We didn't know we were going to sit here last week and be like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, and Rylie might get evicted but probably won't, because it was that weird of a nomination. But when you look at the cast that Rachel is dealing with, I think Rylie was the right move, and obviously it panned out in a way that it really shouldn't, but because you have this cast, and because you have this cast operating in the way that they are, you are able to get Rylie out of this game miraculously against all odds, it seems. But yeah, this season's so weird, and I think we should probably move on to this week. Y'all think so?
yes.
I don't think of anything else
Put
that's
Rylie
like,
to bed once and for all.
Yes.
I
Will is my
mean-
favorite brother as well, Robin.
I love Will.
All Wills are great.
Yeah.
I
So
I want to talk about obviously not
the
yet,
wall
but when
comp.
when we get to when we get to Sunday's episode, I want to talk about something. So, but we'll get there
Okay.
whenever we're
Well,
done with
Barrett,
Riley.
we
Yeah.
got the wall comp.
Yes. We have the wall comp that happened on Thursday night. We got to watch it live on the feeds. Is this it? Yes. The Mystere Express, the wall comp. I can't remember exactly what time this really started, but
11:40 ish.
it was really late. It was really late by the
Yeah.
time we got to finally watch this.
Because I
And
think cameras came on at midnight, and they were already going. They'd already been going for like 30 minutes, so about
Okay.
11:30.
last year's comp went about like 40 minutes, if I remember correctly. It was an extremely short competition. We saw Tucker win. This one ended up going a little over an hour, which was really nice. This one was a lot more fun to watch, I thought. With the feed cuts, I mean, was kind of awkward when everyone fell at first. We finally got to see actual people falling towards the end of the competition, but we didn't get to see like that Kelly moment that we saw on Sunday's episode where she's like hanging off at first. We eventually got to see her hanging off the wall a lot, but but yeah, this was really fun. 32 minutes was last year's competition. We saw
Damn.
Ashley and Will fall off first. We saw Morgan fall off third, which was so sad for her, who's been talking a big game about the wall comp for seemingly all season, to slip and fall that early on in the competition. But it came down to Kat and Vince and Keanu and Lauren and Kelly, I believe was that final five. And then Ava lasted a long time as well. But we saw Kelly hanging off the wall quite a bit until she just fell off while doing her stretch. I mean, she didn't get to repeat her Tuckerism in the wall competition, thankfully. And we have a lot of Kelly to talk about, unfortunately, in this show too for this week. But it comes down to Kat and Vince. I'll just skip to that. Vince tried to make a deal with Kat, or at least was opening up the conversation to make a deal, and Kat refused. Vince had apparently not talked to her up until this HOH competition after the vote. And she refused to make a deal, and what felt like 2 minutes later, she fell off the wall. So Vince is the new HOH. And I want to ask y'all first off, because this is the first thing that I thought as soon as Vince won HOH, is like, why did Kat not make a deal? Like, what? I get that Kat, this is a big day, this was a big day, but why, if nothing else? Yeah, Nick, you're gonna answer this question. Why are we standing there on the wall? Because Kat could, I totally think in a world where Vince doesn't make sense to me, that Kat could have just been like, hey Vince, I know you messed up. If you fall right now, let me be HOH. We're good. I'm not putting you on the block. I think Vince would have thought about it at the very least. Like, I don't think he would have fallen, but I think he would have thought about it. And if nothing else, why is Kat not at the very least just being like, I won't put you up, even if it's a total lie? I wouldn't have cared if she put him up, even if she did make a deal with him. I think that would have been great. Why didn't she do any of that? I'm so confused. And I know anger probably was the winner over everything in her decision making, but Nick, why didn't Kat do this?
Because I think
Your
she
girl.
wanted to put Vince on the block. That's why. And I don't think she wanted to lie and say, like, no, and then she does have to put him on the block, or she feels obligated to not put him on the block. I think she really wanted to put Vince up because she was definitely really pissed off about the whole Rylie situation. And Vince was the vote that was supposed to keep Rylie. Vince, like, if you're like Catherine, right? You're best friends with Lauren and you're in a showmance. Your best friend just used the veto to save some guy, and then your showmance goes on the block and then goes home because that guy did not vote with Lauren and you to keep your showmance. So she was pissed the fuck off, is my answer. And she
Okay.
probably just wanted to throw him on the block. And like, I think it's kind of valid as someone who thinks people are allowed to play a little emotionally because it gives us good TV. I think she was thinking very emotional at the time and was saying to herself, like, no, I'm not going to take his deal because I'm going to win this competition and throw him on the block and say this is for Rylie. Like, she was mad. I think she was really
Yeah.
mad, and she just did not think she was gonna fall 2 minutes later. So
I know that's the answer. I know that's the answer, and I know people are. I know Jules said she's just not a good BB player, and that's the answer. And then Joseph
Well,
says, "Hell
she
have
might
no
not
fury,
be,
like a
but I
woman
still love
scorned."
her.
That's the answer. Yes, it's probably a combination of all these things. I was just frustrated watching it because I really wanted. Like, I thought Kat winning that HOH would have been really cool. Following Riley's
Same.
eviction,
I
I
really
think that would have been really good
wanted it.
TV. I know it would have led to Rachel's nomination, and I know that's who a lot of people are rooting for. And I know people would have loved Rachel being
Myself
nominated at the same
included.
time. So, but it would have been
I
fun
just
TV, I think.
I wanted a Kat or Lauren HOH win so bad, just because like they got like burned so bad by like people like Vince, who like Lauren literally just used the veto on him. And like obviously I'm rooting for Rachel, like you guys know I'm a
Mhm.
Rachel girl, but like it was like just such TV that like they were like screwed over so bad, and then we go right into the wall competition, and I was like, this is like perfect for them. And it's like Lauren and Catherine too, who would probably do really well in the wall comp too. I was like, oh, I have like money on one of those two girls winning this, and you know, causing some chaos this week. But you know, I guess, and it almost worked out for Kat too, right? Like if think about it, she wasn't an original nom, and if the veto didn't get used, you know, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but like she was almost good. She was almost good,
Yeah.
regardless.
Almost.
So
Yeah, but like every week for Vince, it was the worst. What did Julie say? This is Vince's worst nightmare. Like that's just Vince the entire game, really. So, but
I'm just reminded of Jeff Probst whenever he was like, do you ever have a day where everything just seems to go wrong? Welcome to Sash's world.
yeah, that seems to be the case for Vince specifically. But I feel like that's what you deserve when you play a game like Vince. Is everything's
Yeah.
gonna go wrong when you align with everyone? Of course, everything's gonna go wrong for you.
yeah. Vince
so-
shouldn't have even won this damn wall comp. I was like, why is he still hanging on? Like what
That's what I was gonna ask
dropped?
y'all.
Like hello?
Yeah. Do you think
Well,
Vince
because-
survives this week if Kat would have put him on the block? So
Kat
obviously you
would
have to
put him on
compete
the
at that
block,
point.
100%, yeah. But right, at that point he was in a position where he had to win. I think Vince should have dropped like long ago, like way in the beginning. Like he shouldn't have ever like been hanging on for that long, because like who was gonna put him on the block? I mean, sure, Kat and Lauren. And I was like, yeah, I want Kat and Lauren to win because it would have been good. But like
Well, then,
I really
Sorry for that.
I don't know. I think he was trying to outlast those two girls specifically, and then he got stuck and he was like, "Oh shit, like I actually have to win now." So I don't know. I don't think it was the best thing for Vince to win this HOH.
Yeah.
in my
Trill also has a
mean-
really good point. He probably just wanted to win the wall. He did, I think,
Yeah.
also.
opinion. That's true too. Yeah.
I honestly think that was it. And I mean, but you know, hindsight's 2020. It's a good thing that he did, because it would have been,
Yeah.
if it were Catherine, or if it would have been, well, I guess if we're going by this, Catherine would have won, and he would have been on the block.
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
and I think what would have happened is that he would have gotten thrown under the bus hardcore by people.
Well,
And,
yeah, because
especially
I think the way I see Vince in the house, right, is that he was kind of in the middle of like he was in both the judges, and then he was with like the other people. I don't think they even have a name, but like the Lauren, the Catherine, the Rylie, and all them, right? And the thing with Vince is that I feel like he was kind of at the bottom of both of those groups. Like Rachel literally just threw him on the block, and now he's in an alliance with her. And then the other side, I feel like all had value in other people over him, other than like Lauren, right? But then the second he went and voted opposite of them, he put himself at the bottom of that side now too. So I feel like Vince is like in a weird position where I've never seen on Big Brother, where like he's kind of in the middle of both sides still, but like at the bottom of both sides still at the same time. Like
Yeah.
he's not
Only
like a
being-
mastermind.
Only being elevated because of his power right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
he's like the he's trying to, or he's playing like an Andy-esque game, but in the worst way possible. Whereas
Hard agree.
because where no one really, everyone knew that Andy was like cool with everyone, but Andy was more low key about it. Whereas Vince, everyone knows how he is. Everyone
Yeah.
knows what he does, and it doesn't help the fact that, like you said, he's putting himself in these positions to make these decisions that makes his relationships with people so much worse, to the point where I honestly think that if he were to make it to the end, this is way far ahead. I think we're going to end up seeing like a bitter ass jury against him because
Oh,
of
yeah.
how much fucking backdoor or back dealing and shady stuff that he's been doing. And people are going to compare notes and be like, Vince is just promising everyone everything, and how did he get this far?
Yeah.
So
I think that's interesting to say from Trell that this is how Dan BB10 started. I think that I don't know if I'd go that.
No.
I think Dan was a very like whiny person on 10 at times, but I think he eventually got into that like confidence that we know Dan is now. But whereas Vince is just nonstop like, oh, why am I even here? Why am I'm like yesterday he was just like, oh my god, yesterday he was just talking about like, I'm 34 years old and I don't know why I always have these problems with just not always being afraid of everything and nobody likes me, but he's doing all of this and everyone still hates him. So so it's like it's not working very well at all. And especially for people like Lauren, it's like it's amazing that he even has her as an ally still, after the amount of times. Well, I mean, he's also got Keanu, but Keanu's Keanu. And it's just like with Lauren, it's like he's burned her so many times, but I feel like confident enough in Lauren for her to just eventually be like, okay, I'm kind of done with you. But I mean, when you're on an
Same with
island,
Kelly.
it's kind of hard. Kelly,
Same with
well, Kelly
Kelly.
does hate him. Kelly told someone yesterday, or I think it was Kat, to go up to the HOH room to tell Vince that she hates him. And that was it. That was their conversation. But we saw, I thought it was funny last week. Did y'all see the segment, of course, where Kelly had to remind Vince that they formed a final two, which was so, well, like, oh my, how did you forget that, Vince? First, you nominated her with the pretense that it was ridiculous because she was your final two and you didn't remember that? Like I don't know.
And then plays the whole segment of him promising final twos to Rylie and also Keanu and Lauren, and there was someone else that was like off, I think Will too, and it's just like, this is the worst thing that you do. Think about it versus like, think about that transition to Andy, where, you know, the one grace of editing that they gave him whenever he won HOH, where it's like everyone's saying, I feel really good about Andy. I think that we are working well together. I jive really well with Andy. We are simpatico. Who is that? What's your favorite person? Elise. And
Alyssa?
Oh, Elise. Yeah, Alyssa. Why did I say Elise?
It's his nickname for her. They go way back. Friend of the pod.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, but transition that to how messy he is, and I'm just like, and I can't even talk bad about it because I can't talk bad about it because he's just whining like crazy. And comparing him to Dan, whoa, Dan was in a predicament at the beginning of the season, and I feel like he played up his crying as a strategy because he wanted to be perceived as weak, which he did. He was.
That is kind of what Vince is doing.
Well, yeah, but Vince actually thinks this though, and then all of a sudden he doesn't think it, and then he's just. I don't know what he's not doing it for sure. I feel like he's just like this. He is literally just like this.
You think he actually thinks that way about himself when he talks like that? I don't see enough DRs from him to prove that this is what he actually thinks. I think I think maybe he's saying like maybe his deepest, darkest like insecurities in a way, but using them as a strategy where it's like he's exaggerating them. But I don't see him doing this Vince is more Vanessa than Dan. Interesting.
Oh my God, stop that. I
Stop
hate
comparing
that.
him to these
No.
players. Stop doing it. Yeah.
Vince
Tom
is-
and Trell, I need y'all
No.
to stop. That being said, though, to say that Vince wouldn't be like someone I could see winning this game is a lie. I could see him winning this game.
Yes.
In
Vince is
fact,
like a-
pretty
what's his-
convincingly, I could see him winning this game.
Vince is like an Adam.
Like season 9, Adam.
Yeah.
Interesting. 9 callback.
Girl,
You said
I
season 18.
can't.
Let me cut it in half.
Yeah.
But okay. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to. I don't have any analysis to go off of that. I don't remember how Adam
Yeah.
played it all.
Well, exactly. That's how we're gonna think about Vince. Like, there was no real strategy; it just sort of happened.
We'll call Vince the Dan of BB27. Does that
no,
say
we
much?
are not.
Can
No,
we hit a middle ground?
No.
Okay,
No,
I won't.
that
I won't
does
call
not-
him that
no.
then. I'll call him
No,
the.
he's
Vince.
He's
Vince.
Vince.
He's
He's
Vince.
Okay.
He's Vincenzo.
That's what I was calling him. I'll just keep calling him that then. All right.
He is not on his way to Mount Rushmore, Trell. Absolutely not.
Okay, so at the end of last night's episode, we saw Ava, Kelly, Mickey nominated. One thing I do want to add, Vince came up with a lie about his vote that I do want to mention real quick. His lie was that he was convinced to give a sympathy vote, and didn't realize that the vote was going to be that close. And I just want to say that that's a horrible lie. Nobody really believes that at all. And so, yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Ava, Kelly, Mickey going on the block. Ava, his excuse was, like I mentioned earlier, you were HOH, you put me on the block. And Ava in her DR on Sunday was just like, I guess she's right. That's fair. Which I'm like, God, Ava. Kelly's used to this. Kelly was saying things like, honestly, Vince, I think this is my week to go. And things like, I think this is my time. And just
When
like,
isn't it your week to go?
yeah, it's been Kelly's week. Like the BlockBuster or the AI Arena in the past 2 seasons has really created these house guests that seem like they're just zombies living in the game, like Keanu and Kelly, where we're seeing what usually are like first boots last longer. And it makes me feel like, Nick, I know you'll get this reference, like in The Walking Dead when the walkers start to get advanced, but they're still walkers. Like that's how I feel. Not to call back like zombie week for Big Brother 25, but that's how I feel when watching like Keanu and Kelly is like they shouldn't be in this game, and I think everyone's aware still, but they are, and they haven't learned.
Can I, now that you say that, it like kind of gives me like BB21, like the Can't Come Back people, where they were just kind of like still there, and you're like, why are they even still here? Like they're not in the game anymore. That's like,
but we liked them more.
I mean, like obviously they're
so-
still right, but I mean, like obviously, like they're still in the game, which is like the trippy part, because it's like in any normal season of Big Brother, Keanu and Kelly would not be here. Like there is no way. So yeah, it's very like weird. I agree. I do think that this is Kelly's week to go. I've had enough of her, quite frankly. But yeah, I don't know why both of them are, quite frankly, still here. And I blame the
they're still here?
BlockBuster because the BlockBuster. I'm gonna say something controversial. I'm kind of over it. Like
I am too.
I'm over her. Like
the
I don't know, it
week
was cute
after
last
Riley's
season.
eviction, you're over the BlockBuster? What's going on? Actually, not even
Because
a week.
if the BlockBuster wasn't there, we don't even have to worry about, like, it's just like an extra layer of stress, I feel like, for me. Like where I go in and I'm like, okay, so like what? Now I'm stressed the hell out because I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't know. I feel like I guess what I mean is I feel like it's overstayed its welcome this season. Like, I'm ready for it to be done this season. Because now if Kelly wins the BlockBuster again this week, it's like, girl, can you just go home? Like, I'm just, like, over it. It's just, like, I'm tired of seeing the same people just, like, go on the block and then win something and then they're safe. And it's like, then they go on the block and then they win something and then it's, like, it's boring. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, but it's boring. It's the same thing with Keanu. Like...
Also, something to point out, Kelly and Keanu, y'all need to fucking understand what a backdoor is, because with the BlockBuster in, you cannot backdoor someone that is literally, logically, and impossible. It is impossible to backdoor someone with the BlockBuster. It is literally impossible. You cannot do it. It cannot be done. A backdoor option does not exist if the BlockBuster is in. I want to yell that if I was there, I would literally yell this over the wall. I would make a banner. You cannot backdoor someone with the BlockBuster in. And I'm telling this to the fans too, because I see fans say, well, it should just get backdoor. No one's going to get backdoored with the BlockBuster in. Backdoors literally BlockBusters literally prevent backdoors from happening. So please, if you're going to use the word, make sure you're using it correctly.
Yeah, I mean,
They don't
backdoor
even use
and
the word floater correctly.
that's about
Like,
to say
it's there-
backdoor is
yeah.
the new floater. Apparently, you're right though.
Yeah.
You cannot backdoor anyone with the BlockBuster in place. That's why I like it. So
But I
I'm gonna
like
have
a good
to.
backdoor. Like I like that's juicy to me. Like
It can be.
someone getting backdoored and then staying. Like can you imagine like right if last week right the noms were just Morgan and Mickey won the veto or whatever and Mickey comes off, Rylie goes up, and then like it's just so juicier that way to me. Like I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just like I don't know. I like old school Big Brother. This gives me, it's starting to give Battle of the Block now, where I'm like, all right, like, can we get over this? Like, why is this still here? Like, we're going into what, no, it's not single digits yet, but we're like halfway through the season. I feel like it's like time to like, all right, like,
Well, yeah.
We'll do it. They'll do it
whatever.
at Jerry, I'm sure, again, or for the double. But
They didn't do
Um,
it. They didn't do it during the double.
no, I'm saying they'll get rid of it during the double. We'll go back to
Yeah.
old school,
Well, they got
Uh,
rid of it whenever jury started.
not just for the double. I always assume double starts when Jury starts.
No, the double was like the double was right after Janky Week, I feel like.
They so the first juror last year was I almost said Angela again. She was like the fourth. We've been over this.
Quinn.
It was Quinn.
Yeah, it
And
was
Quinn went before Janky World. You're right.
Yeah.
Um,
And then Leah was before. It was later in the week, I know that. I think it was, didn't T Core go during the double?
T-Core went
sounds right.
during Janky World week.
Let's see.
She left from the backyard of Janky World, I remember.
I do.
But I was
It
gonna
was
keep
week-
saying like I'm
week
just
10.
okay.
So literally the week after Janky World or Janky Week was a regular week, and then the double happened. And who went? Oh yeah, Angela went during the double. That's right, because it was Leah, and then Leah went during Mackenzie's HOH week.
Right. But
And,
anyway, back to the BlockBuster. I do think that we should I just got tired of old school Big Brother where we're backdooring people and they don't even get a chance to play for the veto. I just got tired of that. Or like setting it
Tired
up
of
in a
it?
way
When-
where they never even got a chance to compete in something that would save themselves. I got tired of it.
How many times has someone? I feel like a lot of people have been backdoored.
What? There's been plenty of backdoors in Big Brother. Maybe Derek X was my final straw because he didn't even get to play in the veto that sent him home after he got renominated. That's the one that at least sticks in my mind the most. So where like when the AI arena started, I thought of just that eviction. But just the fact that it could happen, especially early on in the game, I just didn't enjoy that aspect of it. And I think getting rid of that and also forcing people from the days of, Monday onward to not know what they're going to do and actually play the game from Monday to Thursday is really appealing to me. And that's something that the AI arena and the
I agree with
BlockBuster
that.
brought. And I do think it has aided in getting rid of bigger targets or giving more of a chance to get rid of those targets that you normally wouldn't go after, like the Matt Hardemans in the first week, or like Zay and Adrian, and like a lot of people that were going to probably be good at this game down the line or have those competitions that get annoying to watch people win over and over again in the later half of the game. Getting rid of them early on, and especially getting rid of players that I never expected to leave the game early on. I think that's really refreshing for this. But that's my 2 cents. And I understand why people get annoyed with the BlockBuster because it makes people go a little too cracked in this game to the point where they don't want to make a decision sometimes. which is Battle of the Block.
Heisem was your final straw because he got back.
Heisem wasn't a victim of. Oh yeah, he was, I guess, of that same kind of backdoor scenario. Yes,
Same kind of backdoor
I
scenario.
always
There's only one way a
appreciate good
backdoor would
old
happen.
Backdoor, like.
I know.
To me, that's just Big Brother. Like that's the game. Like, and it
Yeah.
like takes that whole like like I don't know. Like when you look back at it, like all like the big moves were like, ooh, like this person backdoored this person and stuff like that. And it's like, well, now we can't even do that because they have to throw people on the block and they can just win themselves safety. It's just like, I don't know. To me, it's giving. It's not like, you know, the challenge, of course, but it's giving like, why do like comps have like so much like say and like why people stock, that's a good way of what I'm trying to say. Like I just don't appreciate somebody who is like consistently like Keanu does not know how to play Big Brother. He does not. He can win a competition, that's why he's still in the game. And like I hate seeing that even in other shows. It's not just a Big Brother thing. It's just like even in Survivor, when you see somebody where it's like, okay, they were supposed to be voted out 5 weeks ago, but they've won 4 immunities in a row. It's just like I don't like that. Like that's just like boring to me.
You get it right, Barrett?
Yeah, like I was actually about to reference Survivor. The guy from Russell Hance's first season that kept winning all the immunities over and over again.
Brett.
Oh,
yeah.
Brett, yes.
See, I can do it sometimes.
Tyson. He's not Mike Tyson. He's
I haven't watched
Brett.
that. I agree to like Juan's point over here. Having 2 chances to save yourself can be one too many chances.
Yes.
And I agree with that too. I think just the benefit outweighs the negative of that for me. And I've really enjoyed a lot of these eviction episodes and enjoyed watching how chaotic the game has become because of it. I mean, within reason, these people are frustrating this year to watch attempt to play the game, but I think there truly could be a cast that works with the BlockBuster way better. And we saw a better version last year. But
well, yeah, I was about to say like last year was peak reason why.
I enjoyed it last year a lot because I felt like they played it very well, but because it was new and it was fresh. I feel like this cast came in and they're like, okay, well, they did that already. It was like when they did Battle of Block in 16 and 17, and it was like, okay, well, they did this already, and so they like kind of already knew how to play into it. Whereas I feel like last year it was kind of fun watching them learn how to like play it a little bit better. I don't know. It is still exciting. I'm just saying, I feel like it's overstayed its welcome this season. Because now if Kelly wins again, this is like her 3rd time where she would have like gone home and she's just safe. Like it's just aggravating to me. Especially when it's people I want to go home. And they are like Mickey even last week. It's like I wanted Mickey to leave. I didn't think Rylie was gonna leave. And I guess that's why I was upset too, right? I thought Morgan was gonna go at that moment when Mickey won. And I was like, well, that's annoying because out of all 3 of them, I'm like, I like her the most, even though I don't really like her. But, you know, I'm like, okay, if I have to pick one of the 3 of them that I want to stay the most, it's Morgan. And now she's leaving because Mickey won the damn thing. So it's just like, that's where it gets like annoying to me. But
I'm also like, well, so say they didn't. What would be a better thing to do instead of the BlockBuster? Like, because like 3 nominees is not as dramatic. I feel like I like the fact though that, you know, someone comes off of the BlockBuster, they can't renominate, so it's 3 nominees at the end of the week or something like that. Someone just comes off. I'm glad that part is in. But I mean, I think I've liked the BlockBuster only because the comps they truly have to be equitable because like they don't have time to do something strength based or something like an endurance or anything like that.
I agree with
it has to be basically that 2-minute timer for everything.
Yeah, which is good. But I do agree. I feel like they should shorten it. They should do it the only way I can call it is the pre-jury, like literally like the first 4 weeks or something like that.
I mean, that's not an awful idea. Just have it literally be for the beginning of the game, like for the first few.
And plus, it doesn't help that they have such a small jury. That's why it's lasting so long. Because if they already would have
It would have been done last week.
Yeah, because it would have been a 9
There was
jury
a lot
last week,
left,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The jury
so
was
it would
started
have
this
already been
week,
done.
So, which I feel like would have been
So-
perfect. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's
I-
overstayed its welcome.
I think if we have a good last half of this game without the blockbuster, maybe that'll make people think different. I don't know why that would make people think differently. It probably would just infuse the fact that they love old school Big Brother more. But I don't know why I said that. But I do really think the blockbuster hasn't failed enough in my eyes to get rid of it just yet. I still think it has a lot of entertainment value. And I know like Trill said, they use these comps to fill TV time, and that's their priority, and that's really their thought process behind it. Not exactly like, does this make a better game? Like we want them to think all of the time. But
I kind of want them to do like a reverse week or a backwards week or something. I've always liked that for some reason. Like they haven't truly, I mean, they in Big Brother 4, I think they did it to where you know, they had that veto competition before the HOH comp or something like that.
yeah.
So someone had already won the veto, but no one was nominated yet. Like I preferred like what they did in Big Brother Canada, where it's like the quote unquote HOH comp is actually the nominee comp, and then they had the POV, and then they had the HOH comp at the end. So the HOH had the final say of who got evicted. I kind of like that, but that's a hot take too. But
Or go old school BB. I've said this a million times, I think, over doing this podcast.
no
but
comps.
No comp. Yeah, no comps at all. We just, but I think for future seasons, I think it would be interesting to like nominate 2 people like we normally do, but or nominate 2 people, but then every single nominee and then the HOH has to choose one person to play in the veto. Or if you random draw, those people are the only people that are eligible to be nominated as a renom. That's in my mind. I think that would make things interesting. I just want to take away the back door from everybody, I think is my goal. But
Or how about
Wasn't,
we
like,
don't have the
people- I thought people
What?
being able to pick was the reason
Pick,
why the backdoor
that's-
got invented.
Yeah, because of
remember,
Jace,
like,
'cause the
Nokomis got them all.
the 5-finger
Yeah,
plan?
exactly. Yeah, and Nokomis got them all to pick who was in the veto, so that way Jace couldn't
Mhm.
compete.
and you're literally
Barrett.
instilling big alliances, because that incentivizes big alliances.
Do you not know what I'm talking about? Like when the
no, I know
backdoor
what you're
was-
talking about. I feel like
Okay.
I messed up in how I said it though, because I used to say this and I feel like it made sense because I did. I felt like I used to say this and it totally got rid of the 5-finger plan, or whatever.
What were you trying to say?
I was trying to say that everyone just the only people that can be renominated are the ones that compete in the veto competition as
But
the extra
before-
players.
But before that, you were saying the people who got nominated were the only ones who got to pick who played in the veto.
No, the HOH also gets to choose. Or if you did a random no, that was it. We still do random draw, and those people are the
Okay.
only ones who could be pulled to nominate.
Okay. I wish they would do HOH can't play in veto.
That's not an awful idea either, but I mean, you're taking away the ability to have ultimate power over the week, which I think is an interesting concept.
Is it?
Yeah.
I feel like
The HOH gets the ultimate deciding factor, and then that gets more
Well,
blood on your
yeah, but-
hands. That's an element of the game. I feel like that's cool.
But I also feel like if the HOH wasn't eligible to play, then it gives more people the ability to actually have a social game and convince people not to use the veto or something like that.
Sure. I mean,
I don't think the HOH, because Big Brother Canada did that. That was the Big Brother Canada.
yeah.
Where the HOH couldn't play in the veto. I didn't think it like changed things dramatically at all, in my opinion.
Okay.
But
Yeah, you should watch
I
Big
don't
Brother
know.
Canada, Barrett.
I won't. Can we move on? We've been talking about this for a while.
What were you talking about before this?
We were talking
The
about
Blockbuster.
the
Oh, yeah.
blockbuster. That's what all started this. Anyway, I think weirdly enough, we were talking about the nominations that Vince made initially, because I still
Oh,
have
yeah,
the
we were
slide
talking
up.
we were talking about Kelly because of the
Yeah.
Blockbuster and why she's still here. Because this whole, I want to back to Kelly. I don't.
Maybe I need to catch up on the week, and then we can
Go ahead.
dive into Kelly, because I was just gonna say real quick. There's not a lot to talk about this week, by the way. That's why I just want to catch up on it, because it's pretty clear what everyone's ideas are gonna be. So Mickey ends up winning the power veto competition. And apparently every veto competition we're gonna have, everyone kind of sabotaged themselves to help Mickey win somehow. It was a knockout style competition. Apparently Kelly and Keanu just kept like not picking Mickey to compete, and she just skated to the end and ended up winning the veto, which was the worst outcome. And I just don't understand. I don't understand anybody. I've said that a million times. But the fact that we keep coming back, and we have Lauren on the feed just being like, are we all a bunch of idiots in this game? Because Mickey winning was the worst possible scenario, because everyone wanted Mickey out of the house. Mickey was going to be the evictee, probably unanimously, if she was up there on Thursday night. And so her winning the veto caused Vince to then have an aneurysm for like the next 2 days in a row, because half of the people wanted Rachel as the renom. It seemed like about half. And then the other half of the house wanted Catherine on the block. And then Ashley was also in the mix for people like, Lauren and Catherine and Keanu coming to pitch. And then weirdly, Keanu had like a last second pitch for Will to go on the block. Anyway, that was kind of like 2 days in a row of Vince just being dragged into rooms. Morgan was a big proponent of trying to push for Rachel not to go on the block. Morgan was in his HOH room constantly. Mickey pushed for Rachel to not go on the block a lot. Meanwhile, like Lauren really wanted Rachel on the block. Kelly really wanted Rachel on the block. Catherine really wanted Rachel on the block.
Keanu.
Keanu really wanted. I don't know why I didn't lead with that. Keanu was absolutely pushing for Rachel to go on the block, which was disappointing to see. But ended up, Catherine goes on the block as the replacement nominee, because Vince was too scared to put up Rachel, and chose the judges for this week. So, yay for Rachel. I don't know if this was the right move. Do y'all think Rachel should be on the block right now? Be completely honest.
No.
Because I tend to think that Vince not nominate. I think I see the same thing. Like, maybe it doesn't look like a good move for Vince, but Rachel could easily be nominated, or not be nominated, be evicted on Thursday night if she doesn't win that BlockBuster. And I think people would be right to do so. Absolutely. So the fact that Vince doesn't do that after Rachel nominates him, I feel like he would have had a good excuse. I get the judges reformed, but I think Vince is going to be in trouble either way, whether he chose the judges or not. I know some people don't think that. I think people are going to go after Vince regardless. I don't think him not nominating Rachel is going to save any grace for him. And that's some people don't think that. Some people don't think that. I think Vince is still very much in trouble. What do y'all think?
I think he wouldn't be in trouble if he wasn't so like back and forth with it, and like contemplating doing it and then not
Also
doing
true.
it, and then like because I feel like that is what's going to fuel Rachel to want him out of the game. But if Rachel was not hearing that he was contemplating trying to put her up or do whatever and this, that, whatever, then like I think he'd be fine. But I think that that's what is like gonna bust him. It's because like Rachel now knows that you were considering putting her on the block despite this judges alliance, and that you needed like literally like everyone in the house to push for you to not do that in order for you to actually not put Rachel on the block. That is what I feel like is going to get Vince, because I think he should have. It's like hard, right? Because I'm like, I don't think he probably shouldn't have nominated Rachel, because in my opinion, Vince picked the side that he was going to work with when he cast his vote last week against Rylie. So it's kind of like, well, you made your bed, Vince. Now you have to lie on it. You picked that you were going to work with Rachel. And what does that come with now? That side of the house. So, I understand in a way why Ava's on the block, because it's like a tit for tat situation. But if you put up Ava and Rachel, then like that's 2 out of 3 of his noms from the side of the house that he just voted with. So I don't know. It's like, it's a very like 50-50, like I see both sides 100% is what I'm trying to say. And I will say, like, me and my friends in my group chat, we have been like arguing about it like all week on like what he should do. Should it be Kat?
Yeah.
Should it be Rachel? Should it be Kat? Should it be Rachel? And like what makes more sense? Because I do feel like it's a very like, it could be either or thing. It depends on how you see it and what you think would be best for him as a player. And in my opinion, him voting Rylie out was him picking that side of the house. So he has to stick with them, in my opinion. But him talking to everyone about wanting Rachel out is going to bite him in the ass.
What do you think, Zach?
I agree with that too. I feel like because of his vote last week, he already decided. So he should have just stuck with it like, no, I'm nominating Catherine. And that would have gone over so much better with the judges, and especially Rachel too. Like, not only, it's like, okay, not only did he vote with me, but he also does not have it in his mind to nominate me. Okay. We can drop the guns a little bit. But instead it's like, oh, I don't know. I'm acting like I am in real life.
Yeah.
My gut is telling me to do something, but my strategic mind is telling me to do something else. And it's like, come on. Quit pulling a Lauren. You gotta stick with something. You gotta stick with your guns and make your bed and lie in it. Like Nick was saying, like, you already made your choice whenever you made that vote. There's no backing out or anything like that. No one can lie in this house.
It was just a sympathy vote, though, Zach. He didn't mean to evict Rylie.
But then Kat also like did not take his deal publicly in front of like the whole, like,
Yeah.
It was just like, so like, you have every reason to throw her on the block, dude. Like, I like don't get it. I really don't. I don't know. I just feel like he's very indecisive, like Lauren, and maybe that's why the two of them like each other so much. But he just did not know what to do this week, in my opinion, and it showed. It really showed, and I feel like it wasn't that like hard, you know, given his circumstances. You picked the side of the house that you were going to work with. You didn't have to put Lauren on the block. You know, she kept you safe. You can keep her safe. There was plenty of other options, right? Which Lauren was safe. So I feel like he had every reason to nominate Kat. And like the fact that he went so back and forth with, should I put up Rachel? Should I not put up Rachel? Is like where he really screwed up this whole week, in my opinion. Because now, like, someone just said, purse first, they said, you know, they thought the judges was just a way to pressure Vince. And like, I do think that that was the case 100%. I said that earlier in this, that like, you know, it was such a conveniently made alliance that was exactly what Morgan needed in order for her to stay in the house and exactly for them to get Vince's vote. And I think it worked, right? But the thing was, is Vince picked his side when he chose to vote with them, like Zach just said too. So he picked the side of the house that he was going to work with. So you put up people from the other side of the house. It's that simple. You wanted to win the HOH, Vince. That's what happens. Like, I don't know. I feel like he should have just stuck to his guns, and he can't do that. He has to cry and whine and do all this extra crap. And like, that's where you lose me, dude. It's annoying.
Yeah.
So
and it also doesn't help with the fact too that I feel like he feels like he could have still played both sides, and still play the rad game that he played even after that. And it's just like, no, dude, you
can't.
You can't, like, you can't do that anymore. And
it was a 5-4 vote.
Like, yeah, you literally sent out homegirl's boy. Like,
right. And then she didn't take your deal. Why are you not putting her on the block? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. And I can't, it is hard to remember sometimes that Vince has been on the block 2 weeks in a row, and his probably own like internal position in the game is different from how we view him in the game. So, you know, I feel like that does need to be added in. And I like what Shibo said. I don't think Lauren's side is as stable as Rachel's either. Not to mention that it has Keanu and Kelly, who are awful players. Yeah, it's really weird. To say sides is kind of exaggerating, because it really is like Lauren and Catherine, And Ava, especially after last night, Ava wanted to form a final three with Catherine and Lauren. So I would say like you do have like those three weirdly together, and then it's like Keanu and Kelly off in their own world, kind of replacing like where Rylie and Catherine were off on their own. Except Keanu is way more of an active player than Rylie or Catherine ever were, or are. And then you have like Morgan and Rachel, or I guess the judges as a whole. And then you kind of have Mickey, who's off in her own world, kind of by herself. But if she were to choose a side, it would be the judges' side, probably. And so, like, it's really, to say there are sides is kind of incorrect, maybe. But to Vince, maybe there are. And what's so funny is, like, Vince on Tuesday formed the judges, as we saw on the episode. And so, like, here's Vince on Tuesday forming the judges, and then the next day here's Vince on Wednesday forming a completely different coalition with Keanu, Kelly, Rylie, Kat, and Lauren. And so like for Vince to win HOH just seems so stupid, but he, like we talked about, he's kind of on the bottom of both of these sides, and really his tie to the judges is based off of the fact that Morgan was just in the judges. You know, Morgan's just like, wait, let me go get Vince. And if you're Rachel, you're probably like, oh God. But it ends up working out. So I don't know where Vince goes from here, because like Vince seems to do all of the things that should get people mad at him, yet nobody in this game is getting as mad at him as they should. So like he picks Rachel's side this week, but at the same time still for some reason has Lauren, still for some reason has Keanu, but is on the bottom of the judges. So it's like, I don't know. That's why I still stick with the fact that if he nominated Rachel and just went after her, really went guns blazing, I don't think it would have been any worse for him than not doing it at all, because he's still pissing off practically everyone in this house all of the time. So he might as well make a good, like, try to make a move with it. I don't, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm happy he didn't nominate Rachel. I will say that. I just think that was a big mistake by him.
Well, I feel like if he would have stuck with the other side of the house, I feel like regardless, they would have had the numbers, wouldn't they have?
Who knows? I sat here last week and said they weren't evicting Rylie no matter what, and then they did. So I can't speak for numbers by Thursday night at this point.
No.
I think it like if you're saying if Rachel went up instead of Catherine,
Yeah.
I think if Rachel goes up instead of Catherine, I think next to Kelly she stays, but then I think next to Ava it gets a little wonky. I feel like
Ava's a bad person to be up against right now,
especially when you're Rachel Rylie. Like,
but nonetheless, we have Catherine on the block, and it's pretty clear cut right now on who's going to go home. If it's Ava versus anyone,
we think.
Yes, we think. Right. Like, again, take it with a grain of salt. Even though it's Tuesday, we used to say it for Mondays at the beginning of the season. We were podcasting on Mondays. Now we have to say it for Tuesdays for some reason. But yeah, Kelly versus Ava. Kelly goes home. Catherine versus Ava. Catherine goes home. Catherine versus Kelly. Kelly's gonna go home as of right now. And it should be almost unanimous in any of these. Almost. Should. But you know, like Tom was saying, BlockBuster's really helped with these unanimous votes not happen. So anything could happen by Thursday if we really want to open our minds. So with that, I do want to talk about like some interesting things on the feeds, because otherwise this week has just been a lot of like shit talk towards Rachel Rylie specifically, it seems. So I don't think I'm missing anything else big to talk about before we go into like Kelly and Rachel's hammock gate and Keanu.
Well, a lot of gates. Winegate.
Yeah. We had like a compliment circle on the feeds going on, and Rachel was kind of over it and making like a little look at the camera while pouring some wine in the sink. Or I can't remember exactly what the circumstances were. Kelly fucking noticed though. And was just like, did you see what Rachel's doing? And Rachel heard about it. And this week has just been a lot of Rachel hearing things about Kelly and Keanu and what they're saying about her, and being completely over it. And so,
and Keanu and Rachel's fallout.
Yes, maybe that's what I should go over first because that did technically happen first.
Yeah.
Keanu again pushing for Rachel to go up all week, and obviously this is in the aftermath of them forming like the frenemies alliance. They're just only enemies now, no longer friends. Keanu does not realize that Rachel is like the only person in this game to not nominate him, basically. I mean, Vince didn't this week, but the first week, we could talk about that. Keanu has like an undying loyalty to Vince and previously Rylie before he was evicted. And in the aftermath of this Rylie eviction, Keanu
Rylie, who could not stand Keanu, mind you.
Rylie, who called Keanu a moron behind his back practically every day, wanted him on the block, was gonna nominate him, just tired of him at every point. Keanu didn't realize. Vince also tired of Keanu, especially at this point. Keanu doesn't realize. He undying loyalty, it seems, to anyone but Rachel Rylie, who is like the one person who was willing to actually go to the end with him. Anyway, Keanu doesn't see it, and it's just endless amounts of him weaving through rooms all day, it seems, this week, and then trying to find every point to talk to Vince, to try to get him to put up Rachel. And in his mind, for some reason, he thinks that he needs to go to the end with the person that evicts Rachel or who gets rid of Rachel, because he can't get rid of Rachel because she won't vote for him. And that's like that's his rationale. Even though Rachel is like the only person who I think wouldn't be a bitter juror, like it's the one person that is guaranteed to not be a bitter juror because I don't think she cares enough to be a bitter juror in the year 2025. And she's also told Vince many times, like, this is my job.
Unless you're Hayden Moss.
I've been here for I've been doing this for 15 years, you know, like I'm going to vote for the best Big Brother player, which may be a little bit defense after the jury comments. But anyway, so Vince puts up Catherine. Vince is just done. And Rachel, after hearing like confirmed that Keanu's been trying to put her on the block, you know, through other people, and just refusing to believe it. Other people are getting mad that Rachel is not refusing to believe that Keanu is trying to put her on the block. Like Ashley like is the meanest to Rachel about it. Like, Rachel, what are you doing? Like, you're like, I keep trying to tell you, don't work with Keanu, and you keep doing it. Why are you doing that, Rachel? Which I would hate if Ashley talked to me like that. If I was her ally, like I would be so mad. But
Rachel, weren't you just telling me that Mickey didn't want, or you were telling me that Mickey didn't say that she didn't want to nominate me?
Yeah. How much can you trust Ashley's word? But anyway, catching up to it, Catherine's on the block. Keanu is so upset. There was a lot going on leading up to that nomination. Like Keanu was standing outside of Vince's HOH door for hours waiting to talk to him while Mickey was in there, and then pretending to go to sleep so that Mickey would leave the HOH room, and then going upstairs as soon as he heard Mickey come down the stairs. Vince was done with it.
But are you going to go into what was the final straw for Keanu to convince Vince to put up Rachel?
What do you say it? What was the final straw?
So apparently Rachel told some information about Vince to Keanu. I forgot what it was. And then Keanu went back and told Vince.
It was that Keanu was bringing up her name.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she had told Keanu that basically Vince was
test
saying
him.
that. Yeah, and then Keanu ran that back up to Vince, and then Vince was like, Rachel's leaking my thing, so I got to put her on the block. So yeah, that was a moment. I don't know if that was the final straw necessarily, but it did.
That was the final straw
like,
for Rachel not to trust him.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And so, yeah, she ended up hearing about it from other people, and which made her go on like, I'm just done with Keanu, like to the point where she's going to put him on the block if she wins HOH, and should at this point, which is crazy that how quickly that turned around. But yeah, Keanu was on a bender this week trying to get Rachel on the block to the point where he was like going into Vince's room at like 3 a.m, sitting in his bed with him, and Vince like had a rant after he left the night before the renoms, just talking about it. Keanu climbing into his bed with his bare feet and his covers.
Fucking dirty ass feet. God, you don't have any fucking common courtesy. Fucking gross, dude.
Come on, Vince. Where's this Vince?
In a room by himself. When a person enters
in the
though.
dark.
Yeah, in the DR
Oh,
is where
sorry.
it is.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that someone else put dirt in my bed. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's my fault.
Yeah, that's the Vince we see with like literally any other human in the world. He was mad it wasn't Morgan. That's why. Oh God, yeah, I have that on the agenda too.
Vorgan or
Morgan, yeah. Okay,
some people
where do I
call
want to
him
go with this
Minnie.
Keanu stuff? So renom happens. I feel like I need to show Rachel like dissing Keanu after the renom yesterday. So the renomination happens. Keanu tries to talk to Rachel, who at this point has found out fully that he's been all week trying to get her on the block. She feels her feelings are hurt. I mean, she tried to help Keanu. She wanted to work with him. He's refusing to. And they had this moment once the feeds came back on.
I don't want to talk to you. So why don't you turn around and make your little eggs and leave me alone?
So then why are you occupying the same space as me if you don't want to converse?
Because I'm literally doing the dishes, Keanu, and I have to live in a house with you.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
I'll do that. You can go somewhere else. if
You
like.
literally never clean, you never cook, you never do the dishes, so somebody has to. The dishes are all full.
The dishes are all full, y'all.
Yeah. It's
We
giving
ate,
the
and
fight
now the
that they
dishes are all
had.
full.
Yeah. It's giving the fight that they had in the bathroom where she was like, I'm cleaning the pee on the floor, Keanu.
Also,
And
what
he's
is
like, then let me clean it.
what is with Kelly and Keanu both getting in arguments, thinking that Rachel is mad about them about
Cleaning.
cleaning?
I
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's a later thing where like Kelly's on a cleaning strike. I don't really understand the
Yeah,
cleaning strike.
I don't. And she's like, "Ah, I only did that because I hate Rachel or something like that. I did that
Like,
to get a rise out of Rachel." And it's like,
Are y'all just dirty? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Do you want to live in a dirty house? Like,
Every year it feels like everyone just talks about how much that house smells. So I just assume that they are. And
they did
ants
it
are
during
everywhere.
23. 23 was whenever it was the cleanest.
Oh, are they? I guess they're fighting right now on feeds too. Okay, that's interesting.
Who? Kelly?
Keanu and Rachel.
Let me see.
But maybe we can find a clip later. I do. From there, I guess we can talk about Keanu and Vince's gym talk. So Catherine goes on the block. Vince has to now do his like apology tour for the 1 millionth time to people, especially with Keanu. It's like the 1 millionth time because he burns him every chance he gets. And so him and Keanu go to the gym to talk, and Keanu like is livid at Vince.
Choose Morgan over you? I mean, you over Morgan? Absolutely not. Morgan and him are always going to choose each other.
I understand that.
So why would you ever tell him when I told you in the storage room? Why?
I didn't tell
What's
him.
the point?
I didn't tell him that you told me he said anything. I told him, hey, I saw Morgan talking to Rachel, because I know that's when she told you when you guys were taking stuff out of the laundry machine. I'm not fucking stupid. So I knew that she told you some fucking bullshit because I saw you guys both looking at me.
I told you that Vince told me that you wanted me on the block.
Rachel, and then before you left, you said Vince and Morgan. You did say that because I know, because that's the only way.
And then why would you tell Ashley in the bathroom saying, "Oh, Rachel"?
I think this should just be the rest of the podcast.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So they're fighting about that. So we know what
Yeah.
they're fighting about.
Cool. Well, all right. Well, I'm glad they're talking that out now. I guess we'll find out
Kind of.
how that ends
Yeah.
later. But Vince and Keanu were in the gym yesterday, and Keanu is so mad at Vince for lying to him yet again, and it's just like, I can't believe you keep doing this to me. I feel like you're taking advantage of my kindness, and I feel like I keep trying to work with you, and you just keep refusing, and I just don't understand. You keep playing with these people that are just playing with your head, and so that was really fun to watch. I think I have a couple of moments from that. It was getting very dramatic. This is like for an hour too, by the way.
I chose you because I like you as a fucking person, man.
I know.
Don't burn me again, dude. Don't do it. Please.
You don't have to play this game with me anymore. If you don't want to,
Vinny, I want to play this game with you. You just keep
I
proving
know,
to me
I'm
why I
fucking
shouldn't,
up.
but I refuse to believe that I shouldn't. I don't know why. There's something inside me that's telling me, like, trust this guy. He's worth it. But I keep investing my time and nurturing this relationship to get burned.
And I don't deserve that. So you need to prioritize your own game over me.
Vince is like, please stop playing with me. Like, I
Leave
am
me
begging
alone.
you.
He's begging him.
Please go work with someone else. Like, he got to the point where he was literally like, you can win HOH and put me on the block, I guess. And I was like, he is desperate to have Keanu like never talk to him again.
Leave
in
me
this game.
alone.
Because like it was Keanu like switching up, wanting to put up Rachel, like at the last second, be like, maybe Will, or Ashley or someone. That made
I don't know,
Vince
maybe
go like,
me.
yeah, maybe. Honestly, if this week would end up in Keanu as the renom after he did all of that, God, I think it probably would have felt just bad for him. But this this just speaks to Keanu is never going to learn. It seems Keanu will be burned by every person over and over and over again, and just not gain anything like any new Big Brother skills because of it. It's insane to watch.
It's his own fault, though, mind you.
It is always his. Everything that Keanu has done has been self-inflicted. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Everything he does is self-inflicted. He could easily have teamed up with Rachel and had some sort of structure if he just realized that Rachel was not lying to him all of the time. He just doesn't know this. He just doesn't know the game. He just doesn't know the game and doesn't care to like work with people that aren't Vince. Like I think Unexpendables were his number one alliance, it seems. Unexpendables were him, Vince, and Rylie. It seemed like he thought that was going to be like his end game. And then that didn't happen, which led to a really funny line from him in this conversation, which was, in the Unexpendables, there are one less of us because of one of us. And I thought that was the best line he has ever said, because I was like, he was fully aware that everyone, and also it just speaks to this season because everyone is evicting their own allies. And so like every alliance that could be formed is getting dwindled down because of one member of that alliance. And I don't know. I thought that was beautiful. And this whole conversation was beautiful. And Ava entered at one point. I think this was after Rachel did to tell them that lunch was ready, and she saw that like they were both crying and was like,
"This is funny."
But Ava came in, and I guess they thought the same thing was about to happen. But Ava could not have cared less.
Heyo.
Can we have a minute?
I'm good.
Why are people
Were you
making
just
him
checking?
cry? He's sad.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying we're.
Oh, you coming to check on us because we're crying? What?
What? No.
No. But yeah, Ava could not. Ava seeing Vince and Keanu crying in a room, that is not the person that you should think is going to care about that at all. She could not care less about two people crying more than that. Oh, I almost went down to the Vorgan tweet. But that conversation happens. That's all interesting. Anything y'all want to say about Keanu in response to this renom, or just in general?
Why can he not read the room, bro? Like, if this guy is constantly choosing other people over you and purposely not doing things that you're suggesting and going against all the things that you're wanting, he doesn't want to. He's just not that into you.
Maybe.
Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, that is quite literally, this is just Keanu not reading the room being the gym.
He's always in that damn gym.
He is. He had a
My
little
friends
monologue yesterday.
Oh, and they're in the gym. They're in the.
I know they're in the gym right now. One of my friends just texted me, like, as they're fighting in the gym, saying Keanu's always crashing out in the gym, and I feel like that's accurate.
Yeah, it's like his safe space where he like has his monologues about how his reign is inevitable, and talking about like yesterday that's when he had his monologue about. Well, at first it sounded like while he's riding the bike, like closing his eyes, and then you just hear like, Keanu, please reattach your microphone. He goes, oh, sorry. And then he puts it back on. He goes, so anyway, I was saying, I think if I can't get rid of Rachel, I need someone else to get rid of Rachel. And I have to sit in the final two with that person who gets rid of Rachel. That was when all of that happened, which was right before that he grabbed Vince to bring him in there. And then Vince talked to Morgan and Lauren for a long time after that, and the night ended up not being absolutely the most insane thing ever, but that was probably my favorite portion of it, because the rest of it was just filled with like Kelly and Catherine talking about how much they hate Rachel and how disappointed how bad of a role model she is for her daughter, and how her grandkids are going to watch this show and be mad at her. It was pretty gross. So that happened. Yeah, grandkids, because this show lives in perpetuity.
4.
10.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what Kelly was saying. Like, the show is going to exist on Paramount Plus for all of eternity, and so then her grandkids are going to watch this. Yeah, I know.
And Kelly's grandkids are going to watch her volunteer to go up on the block every single friggin' week. So
yeah. I mean, or to say that you're a better example by saying all of the things that you're saying right now, Kelly,
Right.
is quite rich. But yeah, I mean, listen. I think Rachel absolutely deserves some game shit talk in Big Brother all of the time. She absolutely asked for it. But that's just so stupid to bring up. Like, I don't know. I hope they both very much regret saying all of that.
I mean, they are, and not only that, especially after the hammock stuff. It's just like, Kelly. Since we're already talking about her, I genuinely cannot think of another Big Brother player that literally has no sense or like mental fortitude to even. I can't even comprehend what she's doing, because I don't even know why she's doing it. And like, you know,
like the cleaning strike.
The cleaning strike, which who's that hurting besides yourself? And
right.
Not only that, no one cares about it.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't help bring up the fact that whenever you say, "Oh, are you mad about the cleaning thing?" and they're like, "What are you talking about?" Because don't nobody give a damn.
No one cares.
Yes, Hammockgate is next. Believe me.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can. Yeah, but yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
so this was a couple of nights ago, after Winegate, where Kelly had already pointed out that Rachel started talking about Rachel. Rachel already knew about this, which, I mean, Rachel knows that Kelly talks about her in general, but Kelly tries to hug everyone at the end of the night and wants to hug Rachel, and Rachel's like, "No, I don't want to hug Kelly." And I'll play a little bit of this.
Thank you. Good night, Rachel.
Oh, that's okay. I don't need a hug.
Why? What's wrong?
I don't want a hug. That's nothing wrong with that.
What did I do?
I'm allowed to not have a hug.
You guys know what I did?
I don't think anyone said. I just didn't want a hug.
From me, specifically?
I
You
just
don't
don't
want
want
me
to hug
to sit
Kelly.
over here and... Is it because I won't clean?
Yes, Kelly, that's exactly what it is. It's because you're not cleaning.
Okay. Well, I don't think I've done anything to any of you in this room, so I can't pinpoint one thing that
The room. They are in the backyard.
I've done wrong, so I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay.
Good night, Will.
Good night, Kelly Belly. Sweet dreams, babe.
Good night.
Okay, so that was that. And then after that, she went up to the HOH room, called Keanu into it, and then this happened.
Hey, Rachel.
What happened? What'd she do?
She's so mean. I've never been talked to that way.
What did she do? What'd she do?
I didn't even do anything.
What'd she say?
She's being so mean.
What'd she do?
I went over to hang out with them in the hammock. And she sat down in the hammock and she said, "This spot's taken, Kelly. You can't sit here with us."
That did also happen, by the way. That was before.
And so we sat down. They came over to hang out with Will and Mickey and Morgan. And it just got so much worse. And then I went to hug everybody goodnight. I hugged her and she's like, "I don't want to hug." I said, "I don't know what I did to you." And she's like, "You didn't do anything to me, Kelly." I said, "Is it because I won't clean?" And she's like, "Yes, it's because you won't clean."
Yes,
That's the worst she's ever been talking to in
nobody's
her
ever.
life.
You would think if she said that, she would then like lie about what happened and made it sound like worse. But then she just described exactly what happened. No one's ever talked to her that way. I don't know.
But like,
She's
why
like
is she
the
acting
meanest
like
person ever.
she isn't like antagonizing the whole situation too? If she's saying, Kelly, you can't sit here, go the hell away. Why are you insinuating, like, why do you like try to like plop down there and be like, oh, is it because I'm not cleaning? Did I do something? It's like you're asking for an argument, Kelly. Walk the hell away. And then on after that, you're still gonna be like, can I have a hug? Why? Why the frig would she want a hug right now? She's telling you, leave her the hell alone. So go
Yeah.
away. Go away. Like,
I think it's always healthy to refuse a hug in this season of Big Brother. You know, we're doing a lot of it all of the time. Every now and then, let's just not do it. You know?
I mean, it's her body, her choice. So if she doesn't want to,
was really funny when Will said that too.
yeah,
And then they all started like cracking up.
yeah, because I'm just like, she has a right to refuse a hug. Like, I don't.
It's a hug. Are we 5? Like, who cares?
It would have been.
It
It would have been even funnier if everyone else said, "No, I don't want to hug either."
It would have been. I think she really
whatever
cried then. Like,
whatever realizes. Wait, we can refuse hugs. I didn't know that was an option.
No, I'm so tired of Kelly. I don't understand what Kelly's strategy is, because I don't think this is a strategy. I don't think that her doing this is any indication to me that she's doing this for purposes. Like, I get this was before Renam even happened, and it could have potentially led, like, maybe she could have used this like to Vince and be like, she's so mean, but she didn't. She grabbed Keanu, and so I think Vince was in the DR at that point though. But yeah, I don't understand what her play here is. I feel like we're gonna see this on Wednesday's episode, and Kelly is not going to say that this is used for strategy. She's only going to say like how mean it was. So I'm predicting that, which I've been wrong in a lot of things.
I just don't understand how you have kids and act this way towards people. I mean, it's a game for $750,000. Yeah, Kelly.
Speaking of,
yeah, Kelly is.
Here we go.
The one to talk.
Daughter.
Wait.
Feel bad for Rachel's daughter. What a role model.
Yeah. There's like, and Brennan's like, look, like, yeah. There's a showman. It's like, that's what, like, your mom and I were. Like, isn't that so cute? And then it's like, Rachel puts him on the block, and then he's like, oh. And then it's like, I'm sobbing hysterically after Rylie leaves, and it's like, oh, mommy just broke a 23-year-old's heart.
A 10-year-old knows that. That's what she's doing, you know? And the thing is, this is on the internet forever.
Correct, Kelly.
In perpetuity across the universe.
Kelly should, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a big
you're
word.
right.
Her grandkids can watch her.
There it is.
Yeah.
Kelly's also said things like she wants Rachel to be the first one in jury, so she has to sit there by herself on her anniversary, which is crazy. I should have had that clip too, but yeah, she keeps saying things like that, which are which is just concerning that she thinks this is she's the way that Rachel talks to her is like the worst thing she's ever heard, but she can say these things about Rachel and it doesn't seem to faze her at all.
Her
but
back is the worst part out of all of it. It's like Kelly is going around saying all of this stuff behind Rachel's back. So Rachel doesn't even know. So you think that it's bad now, girl? Oh, it's only going to get worse, especially when she hears all this crap that you've been talking all season long. Like,
and not only that, like even thinking, I would even, I'm just thinking about like if she would have gotten, if Rachel ever finds out about this, like she has an argument that she has
she's
a type of
gonna.
argument that she has with Keanu with Kelly. Oh, Kelly's gonna have a panic attack.
Right, because of Kelly's own actions. That's what I don't like about her, is that she does
Yeah.
not take accountability. It's like you're poking the bear and you're gonna get the horns because of the crap that you're talking and saying. Like, your own words are gonna come back to bite you, Kelly. And she's gonna sit there and play victim, and it's like I really don't like her. Like, I just
Yeah.
don't like the way she moves. Like, it's just not okay. Like, how are you sitting here saying Rachel not accepting your hug is the worst thing in the world, and how you've never been talked to like that, and then you're gonna go around and talk about her child, and like, what is this whole like, and like, oh, like, you, oh, like, that's so cute. That's how mommy and daddy were. They were showmen. Like, what are you like? What does that have to do with like literally anything? And why are you making up imaginary scenarios of how Brendan is talking to the children? And I think that was even Kat that was saying that. That wasn't even Kelly. But like, that whole like clip is just so like irritating to me. I didn't watch that up until now.
Yeah.
So
Kat also had a lot of things to say. I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
that Kat was completely innocent. I think what Kelly said was worse. But with Kat, at least she's like, I don't know. At least Kat was just very, very much wronged by Rachel, to the point where I feel like her comments. I think I've said this. Like, I could see Kat after the season being like, I completely don't feel like I should have said that. Especially when she finds out the degree of how people feel about
Rylie,
about her showmance this season. But you know, there's a lot of things that Kat said that just disappointed me, and part of me wants to. I do understand her frustration in this game right now and the bad week that she's had. But I just feel like it's so easy to not talk about people's family. I feel like it's just that easy to not do that, and
really,
should be one of the things they point out to people preseason.
If I'm on the show, I'm only going to talk about your family, Barrett.
Nice things, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even a player in the game.
Yeah, I'd be like, you know, Barrett, his family.
Yeah, like no, I don't
like,
know
who
that is. Yeah. But yeah, that's the other happenings in the Big Brother house right now between two of the nominees. Yeah, and what else?
I just didn't understand Kelly's whole thing this whole week. Is just like, probably. I mean, she'd go on the block for Rachel. I feel like since obviously Rachel doesn't trust Vince. Like, overall, perception wise within the house, though, is she say if she wins HOH next week, she doesn't nominate Vince, right?
I don't know that. I cannot say
I don't know that either.
Wait, yeah.
I think she might, honestly, now that she's heard all of like this stuff. Like, you know, I think Vince can definitely go on the block. That's what I was saying earlier, where I was like, I feel like Vince really screwed up his relationship with Rachel by being so contemplating on putting her on the block without doing it. Like, I feel like Rachel's the type of person where if you're going to contemplate putting her on the block, you got to put her on the block because it's going to get back to her.
Because she's going, that gives her full range to put you on the block.
Exactly. Knowing how Rachel is and how she plays 100%. So, and especially given Vince and their history, it's like, you know, so I think Rachel 100% put him on the block. I would not be shocked even if we got DRs about it in this upcoming 2 episodes.
Yes. I am really interested to see what Rachel has to say about leading up to Renom, how she feels about Vince, because she did have to play a lot of defense at the last second, and was able to play pretty decent defense, or at least scare Vince enough into not doing it right before the ceremony. Which, but you're right. I wonder if Rachel could even like abide by the judges, you know, next week and try to nominate people that aren't in the judges, but try to utilize maybe not nominating Vince in a way that like makes him seem so aligned with her that it ruins all of his other allies, the trust with him, because I could see Rachel like painting Vince as like putting up Lauren and Catherine or Kelly, whoever ends up staying, and like Keanu, and being like, Vince told me to do this. I think that would be so much fun, or like some degree of that, to be like, Vince had a say in this, just to ruin all of his relationships even more. I think that would be, if she's not going to nominate Vince, I think that would be a really fun way to go about it. But I don't know.
I just, because I think if she were to win, it'd be like, because theoretically, jeez, I didn't realize how few people there were. I mean, theoretically, if she wins, it'd be like Kelly, Keanu.
Either Kelly, Keanu, Catherine. I don't know if she would go.
Oh yeah, Kelly. No wait, Kelly, Keanu, Lauren. That'd be her three.
Yeah, I mean.
Or no, yeah, Catherine, Keanu, Lauren. It'd be those three.
I think she's got to put up Keanu at this point, well, especially if they're still yelling at each other in the gym.
I think it'll be Keanu and Lauren, and either Kelly or Kat, which, you know, whichever the two stays, and then Vince would be like her renom scenario now, where she could like kind of throw it back in his face. So.
Yeah, I think she's done a lot. Her and Morgan's relationship has gotten so much better, and that's part. And I think that's in large part due to Morgan being able to be flexible enough to want to work with Rachel, which is saying a lot. But you know, Morgan seems to just be willing to attach to people even if she shouldn't. And in Rachel's case, it really worked out for her. And in like, I don't know, in Vince's case, she was able to put up like enough work this week to keep Rachel off the block, which is wild to me. And then of course there's Vince and Morgan seem to be very close in the game right now, especially since I'm not going that far, but it's interesting.
Hey, I will say, apparently his girlfriend said it was okay to use flirting as strategy. So
yeah, that's what people have said before. No.
They always say that, and then whatever. I would like to give Morgan her flowers this week, though, since we're on the topic of Morgan.
Yeah.
I feel like between last week and this week, she has really done a really good job. Like, and I just really want to acknowledge that. I think that, you know, her being a part of like the judges thing forming kept her in the game. Like, that literally kept her safe. And now this week with her, you know, being in Vince's ear about not wanting to put up Rachel and everything, like, I think Morgan is on an upward trajectory now. I just hope that she stays on this track, because she's kind of gotten her footing back, and stays away from like the Mickey, and like, just stay away from her. Like, please just keep doing what you're doing. You know, don't get too, like you said, Barrett, she likes to attach herself to people that she shouldn't, and I feel like that's her like biggest downfall in the game. It's been Mickey, it's been Zach, it's been Vince. It's like, Morgan, stop. Please just be an individual, because I do feel like the gamer in her finally like is starting to show a little bit more, and I really like it. Like, I like hearing Morgan talk game, the whole Eminem thing. I don't know. I have been enjoying her a lot more these past 2 weeks, and I hope that she stays like this, because this is the Morgan I really liked in the beginning of the season, and I liked preseason even. So I'm hoping that she like stays on this upward trajectory, because she is a really good player when she shows the skills that she has. So I want to give Morgan her flowers. I feel like she deserves them. She's been great.
Yeah, it's been really fun watching her. Like, I feel like, especially with Vince, even as early as a few weeks ago, it seemed like the dynamic was like Vince was controlling her and Zach was controlling her. But now this week, it was very much Morgan controlled Vince. Like, Morgan was in the HOH room with Vince for hours upon hours, saying like, no, you can't do this. Like, you can't put up Rachel. It's not a good move. You have to put up Catherine. Like, she put in the work. And even like to the degree of like, when Vince would get so frustrated and be like, I just don't want to look like an idiot, you know, everyone's going to think I'm stupid. She would like, she knew how to like play him and just be like, okay, fine, then do it. And then Vince would be like, no. So like she knew exactly how Vince was going to operate, it seemed. So I really enjoyed watching Morgan this week. And it seems like you said, Nick, like she really was kind of all over the place at the beginning of this game. And I feel like now that the numbers are dwindling down, she found an alliance that saved her. I really think that allowed her to see the game a little bit differently and feel like she had more control. And that's saying something after she nearly went home by 1 vote last week. So I really think that she has found her footing, like you said, in a way that's really exciting. I don't know if it's going to continue because it seems like people have flashes of good moments this year and then have trouble keeping it long term. So, but I really would like her. I really would like the gamer girl persona to really like come full circle and see Morgan really do something in this game, especially if she ends up losing someone like Rachel in the process, where she can find that avenue to the end where she can maybe convince some people to vote for her. But Morgan's one of those people, like, of the cast that is left, I think I would enjoy seeing Morgan try to claw her way to the end a little bit more than some other people. So I don't want to get too much hope, but it's been good watching her kind of figure it out a little bit more.
Yeah, I definitely she deserves her flowers. Like I was very much liking her downfall along with Mickey, and now it's like they're taking the background this week, and especially this season has proved realize, well, whenever you think someone's making bad moves, well, there's someone coming up that's gonna make even worse moves. And and I would be okay with her making it far and everything. I feel like as long as she sticks with this, and like as far as like making those connections outside of, well, staying away from Mickey for one, and making those connections, which I do see, like she's even said herself, she's like, I can't trust Mickey, like I cannot trust her, and which is good, and she's starting to make inroads with other people, which I could if her and Rachel get closer, which they have been this past week, I would like that duo, because whereas everyone else, Morgan does have some good strategic chops, but it's just that she's been connected with other people who are putting her in wrong directions. But if she were to connect with Rachel even more, like they would be so good together, because I don't think anyone would see that coming. And it would be something where it's like, where Rachel has good reads on the house, and Morgan, if Morgan is able to link up with her with that, and they're able to do things, it'd be great. I'd root for it.
Yeah, and I think you brought up Mickey. I think her splitting with Mickey was kind of like that first step. And I mean, I think losing Zach was a huge step for her too. Someone that was never going to really care about her to the degree. I know Zach said that he didn't use his veto power because Morgan was going on the block. Okay, whatever. But I do think that Morgan losing her allies in a way, whether it's because of distrust or because of evictions, has helped her a lot. Obviously, that kind of pushed her in a position to like have the Hail Mary of the judges to keep her in the game. But it's benefited her so much, and to have someone like Rachel, who I think sees the house a bit clearer, or at least knows the archetypes that are put in this game, which is such an advantage apparently this season, because no one else watches Big Brother. And so being able to have her and being willing to be flexible enough to keep her as an ally and trust her is really interesting to watch. And of course, that is what helped escalate her over Vince this week, I think, in terms of like the power dynamics in this game, because she was willing to do that and, you know, back up her own words by putting in those pitches and putting in that effort to keep all of her allies off the block. I think that's going to benefit her immensely. And she's also still not hated by the other side of the house or the remaining people in the house as much, which is really cool to see. It's cool to see someone not playing Big Brother awfully for a week, you know?
You say that, and then next week she just targets.
Yeah, Morgan's going to be gone next week, by the way.
Morgan wins HOH and puts up Rachel next week. Like,
yeah. This is all going to be not even. Don't use any of this. Don't look back at this ever, future people. You want to do winner picks now? I feel like we're pretty caught up. Or is there anything else that I'm missing? Okay, Zach, I think you're going to go first this week.
Okay.
You have picked Lauren every single week so far as your winner pick. You 6 weeks in a row for Lauren, or is this the week? Is it all changing?
I mean, I'm gonna stick with her because I'm talking about her less and less, but I feel like I'm just picking her now for the meme of it all. But like, even this week, especially this week, she is not in anyone's forefront minds to get out.
To get out, to be nominated though.
Nominated is fine. Nominated, that's okay. But
She's
to
only
get
one.
out.
Sorry, I was gonna say she is the only one besides Rachel who hasn't been nominated for the record.
And that you have to speak. It's to speak volumes. I feel like, mind you, it's because Vince was HOH and Vince would never put her up. Knock on wood. We say that, and then all of a sudden Vince is the reason she goes home 1 week. But
right,
that's not this week. I can still see it. She is slow. I feel like Vince doing this to her is going to be her final straw. That's like, well, I think at the results in this week, if Catherine goes, that's going to be her last straw and realize I cannot go far with Vince. I need to figure out what to do. And if she can pivot into that position of, because I feel like if she was able to work with other people and start talking with other people, she'd be a good tool for people to use, and people would want to work with her more than Vince. She has upside. There is no downsides yet, but it all depends on how this week goes. Because if Catherine ends up staying, I don't mind if whether she stays or goes, mind you. But if Catherine ends up staying, I feel like Lauren is gonna be stuck in like or she's gonna stay with I'm riding with Lauren, or I'm riding with Catherine and Vince, because she feels like she can still trust Vince. But if Catherine goes, I feel like it will propel her to do more than what she's doing. So I'm picking her again.
Okay. I still think Lauren does not have like a winner game yet, but to say that anybody does would be a stretch too. I do think like she is underestimated to a degree by other people. I don't think she is underestimated because she's like the best player in the game though. I think she, for some reason, is so way too loyal to the side of the house that keeps burning her as well. I do think who said that she needed to pivot? Joseph said, yeah, I think she does need to pivot at this point. I don't think Vince gave her any confidence. I think she needs to look for some other structure. Maybe that Catherine Ava final three is a beginning of something new for her. But then again, she's still just sticking with two people that aren't like in like a big alliance already. She's sticking with Ava and Catherine, who has not made an attempt to really build relationships with anyone at this point besides Rylie, who's not there anymore. And then Ava, who doesn't seem to care to play the game in the way that's also like a winner's like a winner's game at this point. Ava also seems scared to make the moves, even though she was HOH and put like really good targets on the block. She did not want to claim that at any point, it seems. And she doesn't seem to like voting people out. She doesn't seem to like making the moves that really do benefit her, which is, the bread and butter of this cast, really. But I don't know. Lauren making alliance with those two worries me again. But again, Lauren could easily skate to like the top 5 still, just because people don't view her as that big player, that big factor. And maybe she can figure something out in the jury phase of the game and really flip the script and do something. I just want to see it, because right now it still seems like she's learning how to come out of her shell in this game and make confident moves. And not be indecisive, which seems to be everyone's favorite quality to attribute to her, even though she doesn't believe that. She did have a funny like moment where she heard that people were calling her indecisive, and that maybe she wouldn't like vote for someone at the end of the game, that she would sit there with the keys, and this was her response.
What do you mean I'm indecisive?
I mean, I understand I'm indecisive, but you think I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't know who I want to vote for.
Yes, that is what we're worried about. Yeah.
Notice how she didn't skip a beat on how to act indecisive though.
Yeah. Not a bad pick though. Nick, do you have anything to say about Lauren?
No, I think that it's a decent pick. My only like thing with Lauren is pretty much like you said. I feel like, yeah, people don't want Lauren out, but does that mean Lauren's gonna win? No. I think that means that Lauren's not gonna get evicted for a long time. But like I said too, I think Lauren is like the Mackenzie of the season, and I love my Mackenzie. But I think, as people go out, I do think Lauren has an interesting story, right? Her people are constantly going out, and Lauren's just like there. She's not getting nominated. She's not being targeted. She's just kind of existing. And
She's still winning things,
I think
though.
people, that's what I was going to say. I think that's where people underestimate Lauren, right? I think Lauren is going to be that like person who, I used to call them the sleepers, where like they would be like kind of just there, and then like halfway through the season they just comp, and you're like, whoa, like Lauren is really good all of a sudden. So I can see Lauren falling into like that mold, and I would hope so because I really like her. So I think it's a decent pick, Zach.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll see if we get to 7 weeks. I'm gonna have to figure out a new row to fit all of these winner picks in. I like seeing how everyone changes though, except for Zach, apparently. All right, Nick, you've had a few different winner picks. Last week you picked Vince. Our HOH for this week, or who are you going with?
Yeah, I was debating picking Vince again, but like I'm not. I think that like Vince, it's like weird because I do think I look at Vince and I'm like, if I look at the cast, I'm like, yeah, Vince is probably gonna win the season. But I think the way he kind of like handled this HOH week has me be like, maybe not, because I don't think you have the ability of like making decisions like that and to the point where it'll please people enough to where you'll be rewarded for how you play. So I can kind of see Vince falling into a position where he's in the final two, but he's not going to win because people don't like him. So I'm going to kind of back up from Vince for a little bit now. And I'm going to go with something a little different. So I almost picked this person last week. And I hope that I'm not like stealing your pick, Barrett, but who the hell is that?
Mickey, Morgan, both
No.
of them.
How about this?
Will.
I'm gonna go with Will.
I've been waiting for Will to end up on one of these lists.
Stop. Okay, so I'm gonna pick Will because I think Will, someone was saying it in the chat earlier, Will is gonna sit back and watch everyone do stupid moves all season long. And everybody loves Will. I think Will is playing the best social game in the entire house. And I think given how the season is going, I think that is going to come an extremely long way. Will hasn't won things yet, and I think that's fine because I think he hasn't needed to. He's survived the block. He has, his people. Like he's got like literally like all the girls are with him, which I think is perfect. And then even the other people from the other side, if you even want to call it that, are not even looking at targeting Will at all. Like Will is probably the safest person, in my opinion, in the whole house. Because even if he does somehow end up on the block, he's not getting voted out. So I think Will is going to go extremely far in the game. I think that, I was going to talk about this earlier too, and like we totally didn't. But I absolutely love that they did a family visit and that it was Will's. Yeah. I just think that like I miss the family visits so much. I was happy they did it with Rachel's family earlier, but I thought that like it was just because it was Rachel. So I was happy to see that they're doing it with other players as well. And I think that Will is the most normal person in this cast. And I think that goes a long way. Will is a normal human being. And it's like, just like his reaction to things. And like between last week when like Mickey was like flabbergasted that Rachel threw her on the block and Will was like, did she forget like what she was saying? And then like this week, like I think that Will is like I feel like he's me in the house where I'm like, oh, like we have the same perception of like what is going on. And I think that speaks volumes because I'm a viewer and he's in the house. So I have a lot of faith in him. And that's my winner pick right there.
Yeah, he's also really good for backyard dances, especially if he's got a drink. Or my favorite Will line was when Rachel nominated Rylie. We saw in Thursday's episode when they're all in the HOH room, and Rachel's got like her high noon, and Will just goes, "You want me to drink with you?" Nobody asked him. He just said, "You want me to drink with you?" And I was looking for any excuse. I loved it. No, Will is so likable. I'm really glad one of us finally picked him. Because I've been kind of borderline, but he's always felt like maybe a final two, but not like a winner. So, but I really do think, especially if he's up against, I could see him like against a Vince in a final two. Not that I'm hoping it's like two guys in the final two, the season with the way things have already have worked out so far. But I think like if there is going to be a bitter jury, it's probably going to be against Vince, and I think Will would definitely benefit from a bitter jury because everyone loves Will. And so I think that would be really neat to watch. I don't think Will has anything to worry about. Like, he's not going to be someone they target in like a double eviction. He's not going to be someone that is just automatically going to be thought of as a guy who could win the game unless he starts getting a lot of power. So he's going to have to start making those decisions. Right now, he's just stuck in like this mode of I'm going to agree with everything everyone says, and it's working for him better than it works with other people who want to agree with everything everyone says.
Vince.
Yeah, and I think that's purposely because he's not in power ever so far. But people will keep wanting him to be a part of their alliances or part of their groups, or at least want to like vent to him, which is really good.
The one thing I will say though that I wish would change though is that the only flaw is that he's so agreeable and doesn't say what he wants so much that it's to his detriment at times. Like whenever like the whole Rachel potentially going up. Like personally I feel like either way he would pivot if Rachel went home, but Rachel's been a good ally for him. And I feel like sometimes it's okay to steer people in another direction. Like he does it somewhat, but not enough to make it make an impact, if that makes sense. But you know, this is also me saying like so far these past few weeks it has been going okay in his way, and I feel like eventually he'll start to do it more as far as like whenever people ask for his input, he'll genuinely be able to say what he thinks because there's still such few people and he wants to try to win. But that's my only gripe with him as far as like that. That's just me though.
No, it's a genuine gripe, and it's really hard to convince people, a jury, to vote for you when you if you didn't hold power and all you did was like mediate the entire season. Like that's not going to speak to a lot of people. So he does need to fix that, and either by winning an HOH, doing something. And it was nice to see him just yesterday. He was talking with Ava just about like a Final Five scenario was it with Ava? He was talking about a Final Five scenario with the majority of players, like the judges, and how that would really pan out, and how worried he is for that kind of scenario. So it's not like he's not thinking of these things. I just wish I was able to hear him talk about it more, besides with people like Ava. Because otherwise I don't know what his true opinions are, and I just need more of that. But like you said, Nick, I was so happy that they did a family segment with him on Unlocked, which they forced us all to watch on the Sunday episode.
They really did. I was annoyed, but whatever. I did really like the family visit though. I was so hyped. They were like, "Oh, like we're gonna go see Will's family." I was like, no way. Like we're getting another family. I was so hyped. So I was like, all right, y'all got me, Big Brother Unlocked. I'll watch y'all.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope he doesn't end up in that like I don't know, like BB19 Kevin role of just like the older guy who doesn't
That's
really
what
win
I'm
a
scared
lot.
of too.
And then, but everyone likes, and then they just evict like at top 5 whenever there's like another alliance that wants to take each other to the end.
I was about to say, unless they're actually, I feel like Kevin's different though. I feel like
yes, well, Will's way more aware than Kevin ever was in the game.
Oh yeah,
to be fair.
And for some reasons, people in the house hated Kevin. I don't know why, but
everyone in that house hated each other. They all hated life and they hated humanity.
I don't trust Kevin. I'm like,
yeah, Kevin's the snake. The guy who wraps ran wrap around his stomach every single night is the guy that doesn't talk about anything to do with the game. Is the guy that we need to worry about. Yeah,
Matt, take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye. That is the best goodbye message that's ever existed in Big Brother history.
I agree.
Okay, I'll pick mine real quick. I'm not going to be too exciting with mine. And mine, I'm not. Mine's just going to be Vince. I'm finally going to pick Vince. And it's not because I love the way he plays the game. It's just because I can see him at the end still at this point. Because I haven't given enough reason to think that he's not just going to weasel his way by other weeks. He's good enough at comps. I can still see him getting to the end. And mainly I'm just trying to get out of like this hole that I've gotten myself into because Zach is out of the game. Ava is lost all of her good standing with me really over the past couple of weeks. Or my ability to like believe in her has dwindled. Keanu never gonna win. Don't clip that. Catherine, not a big fan of Catherine after the past week. I also don't think she has any ability. I haven't seen any ability to like build relationships with people in the week since she has lost Rylie, which is really worrisome. So I would have loved if she had power this week. Maybe I could have like seen something, but right now it doesn't seem like Catherine wants to bounce back as of yet. So I'll go with Vince.
She just wants revenge.
Yeah, she just wants revenge, which is a cool storyline, but I don't think it's going to be long term for her. She's just going to keep being thrown on the block, it seems, if she doesn't get power, if she's not careful about that. So I'm going to move away from Catherine. I kind of feel like I flopped with that pick last week now. So I'll go Vince. And if that leads to a Vince eviction next week, that's just exciting. So, but I can see Vince giving his final 2 speech in my head right now. And so I'll pick him. Okay. And we've talked about Vince at length, so we don't have to analyze Vince anymore. Where do we want to go now?
Do you have bracketology?
Yes, I have our bracket.
I was just about to ask if we could talk about bracketology.
Here's our bracketology scoreboard. Nick's
why.
still on top.
That's why.
Nick, I feel like you've increased your lead quite substantially over the past week.
No, I'm just so good.
Zach in second. I'm in third. Who are the big winners of this week in Big Brother Fantasy?
So I had Catherine, who gains me 14 points.
Nice.
Your face. I had Lauren, who gave me 15 points, and I had Morgan, who gave me 11. So, sure. I'll take it. I only got 40 points this week, but hey, I'll take it.
That's not bad at all. Zach, how did you do this week?
I got -5.
Oh.
Because Ava gave me -3, Will gave me -6, and Rachel gave me 4.
Okay. I'm really sorry. That's like, at least it wasn't like someone substantially like made your week terrible. Oh,
yeah.
My lineup was I got 59 points this week.
Okay.
Vince got me 30, Lauren got me 15, and then Keanu got me 14. So I'll claw my way back eventually with this momentum that I've gained to myself. Don't worry. But yeah, sorry, Zach. That was a horrible week for you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it is what it is. Maybe. Watch, it's gonna be even worse if Ava goes home.
Yeah, actually, I can't say that I don't foresee that happening because anything could happen at any point. Okay, well that was that. We only have 3 players to choose from now in bracketology.
Yeah.
So it'll get, the points will slowly increase, I think, from now on out. But do we want to talk about some Facebook stuff?
Yeah.
Please,
All right.
yes.
So we started doing this thing on here if you're new, where we pull random Facebook comments that we enjoy or don't enjoy seeing, or just to get a good grasp of where the casual audience is in Big Brother 27. And so they've been really interesting. Zach pulled a lot this week. This one is from Big Brother Network. It was a post about Keanu in the gym conversation yesterday. And there was this one comment that just said Keanu is trying to teach him, which just further shows Facebook loves Keanu. They hate Mickey. They hate Rachel. I feel like they hate everybody that's not Keanu most of the time. They don't like watching Vince. They don't like, I don't know. What else do you gauge? They think Mickey's, the conspiracy theories for Mickey and the Blockbuster are running rampant on Facebook right now. Is there any other like big things that Facebook thinks that we don't normally see? Also, sorry, I'm blocking this.
They're Keanu fans.
Is it really just Keanu or Keanu and nothing else? Yeah. Okay. But I also just love Boston Rob asked why everyone cried so much this season. I don't know, Rob. They're a bunch of babies. And then, oh yeah, that's why I really like this one, the bottom one, because Rachel's being a bully. People think that Rachel should be removed from the game. They're a little confused as to why Rachel's not getting more flag. Which, I mean, to a degree, I'm also confused why Rachel isn't getting targeted way. Well, I mean, she is.
Oh,
but not getting nominated.
I thought you were about to say I'm also confused why Rachel hasn't been removed.
Why hasn't Rachel been removed from the game yet? That's my big question.
She's such a bully.
Yeah.
No. Why hasn't Rachel been evicted from the game is probably the better question people could probably ask. So there was that. I really liked what Nick found. Kelly looks like Kimmy Gibbler from Full House. Roxy would love that comparison too.
She does though.
Yeah.
She does.
I'm always interested to see what like people really love engaging with on these comment sections too. But also this one, which I hinted to earlier, why remove Rylie? Angela didn't get removed. Which made me forget completely that people were like just wanting Angela to be kicked off the game simply for yelling at Matt Hardiman.
A lot of people.
Yeah. But I think this sentiment has definitely moved on to Rachel for this year. So there was that, and then there was this post. Mickey asked Vince if she could host the veto comp if her chip doesn't get pulled to play. She really has no idea. She was Vince's first and easiest choice for the 3 noms today. And then there was this Brittany Haynes reaction meme. And then the first comment, of course, that's not Mickey. And then it's a meme for the reaction, which is a sentence that I will probably use for a long time. Anytime I see a meme or a GIF of Big Brother at this point, it is a meme for the reaction. Okay. Then Nick, you also had one that I didn't put in here about Mickey's like braids that was just insane. I don't know if I want to repeat it on here, but no, I'll skip it. But there's some mean things that people say that I don't like to put in this. But also, a lot of people just want to talk about how much they hate everyone in this house that's not Keanu, and that is the bulk of what you will find on Facebook right now, and it can be exhausting.
Well, and then they talked about how they think that Keanu is the new Rylie and needs to be kicked out because all he is stalking Vince.
You saw? Oh wait, did you sent one like that? Too,
I sent one. They were just like getting in Vince's bed without asking or something like that, and just constantly following him around, and it's like I can't tell if you're being serious or not. Like
I don't know either. Yeah, I see it now. Oh, it says, okay, now Keanu is becoming a Rylie stalking Vince outside of his HOH and crawling in bed with him. Keanu needs to go. He really was the one I wanted to see on the final 2 seat next to Rachel, but nope. If he wants to have an HOH, he needs to win it. And in my opinion, Vince needs to set some boundaries and tell him where to get off. I agree. Vince probably should set some boundaries, but refuses to. But that was an interesting one. Oh, I know another thing we can do now. I really enjoyed voting or looking at the Big Brother Network popularity poll. So I want to do that again. I'll go find it. Because last week it was like Rachel and Keanu, or Keanu was first, Rachel was second, and then it was like everyone else was below like 5% of the vote.
I remember this.
And I looked before we started our podcast today, I looked at what last year's popularity poll looked like around this time. And for week 7, it was Tucker in first place with the vote, of course, with 45% of the vote. All right, we're on Big Brother Network. Ignore the McDonald's ad, apparently. But last week, Keanu was in first place in the popularity poll with 41% of the vote, and then we had Rachel with 28%, and then it went all the way down to Vince with 7% was third place. So that gives you an idea. So who do we want to vote for? We voted for Rachel last week. Joseph, don't look. I'm going to vote Rachel again. Close your mute the tab real quick, Joseph. All right, Rachel's in the lead now this week, 38% of the vote.
There we go.
Keanu with 26%, and then Will in third place. Will climbing up into third with 10%. Not surprising. Vince dropping down to 4.7%. So, could this be an indication right now of what AFP looks like? You think Rachel, Keanu, Will? Could you see that?
Yes,
I could see that.
100%. Yes.
Not 38%.
Oh my god.
But yeah, this is our look. This is not surprising. Of the people that are still in the game, at the bottom right now is Mickey with 1%, and then Catherine with 1.5%, and then Morgan. That's weird that Morgan's that low to me. 1.69%.
Yeah, I gotta go submit some.
Kelly has more than Morgan right now.
Oh hell no! I need to go vote. Like
yeah, we should have given one to Morgan. But yeah, this is not really surprising to me. I'm not shocked Vince dropped even more. Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna go look just for funsies again at the Big Brother 26. What?
So the way the conversation ended was with Kelly, or with Keanu and Rachel. All I can hope is that you forgive me in some capacity. I guess we shall see. I would still like to work out. Is that okay with you? Yes, as long as we can share the same space and you won't ignore me completely. I probably will ignore you.
Nice. We'll see how that works out. Here's last year's. Tucker with 45% at this point in the game. Angela in second place with 15%, and then Mackenzie in third place with 14%.
Oh my God.
So the top 3 for AFP last year were
Nick,
Tucker,
you're not
Angela.
supposed to vote twice.
I did.
Tucker, Angela, and who were the top 3 last year? Was it Quinn?
I think so, yeah.
I really can't remember.
I don't remember.
But if that's the case, that would be 3 of the top 4 at this point in the season were correct. And then would this have been the week that Tucker left the game, or was Tucker already out of the game at this point?
It wouldn't surprise me if he was. Let me see.
He's still in.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see. Week 7. No, Tucker was out. That week 7 was the week that Joseph went home.
Okay, so at this point in the game, Angela was technically the current player with the most votes, which is not shocking either. But the fact that Tucker had 45% of the vote and was not in the game at this point is really funny to me. But this is also a good, if 3 of the 4 players actually did make it to that America's Favorite Player top 3 voting by the end of the season, I think we can be confident that Rachel, Keanu, and Will be those players, especially if they all make jury together. I think that's almost for sure. I can't imagine anyone else gaining enough traction, because it doesn't seem like Ava is screaming to the casual base or feedsters like people were hoping, or like people were at the beginning of the season, just because of her absence in the game most of the time. Not that I don't like Ava, I just don't think she's gonna find a way to crawl up there, where I think she was kind of built maybe to sneak into an America's Favorite vote. But that's fun. I want to keep doing that.
I like this too.
Is there, what else do we have to talk about? I feel like we've gone through a lot. We haven't talked about like a DR count in a hot minute. I need to find one of those. Do you remember what the Instagram was that we used the last time? I could go to like the Twitter X.
The Instagram was Big Brother database.
Big Brother database. I'll find it again.
Or BB database or something like that.
BB. Oh, yeah, it was popping up. Well, at first it was popping up. Please. Okay. Yes, I found it. You follow it.
Yes, I do.
So the last thing they posted was just a day ago. Perfect. Let me share it. Please. And then after that, I think we'll be about done with everything. Yay.
Woo.
Okay. Here is our look at the diary room count. So,
That's not the diary. Oh,
I'm almost there. We are.
I'm almost there.
I got to the account. Is the good part of this? Wait, did it update? Do we have the diary room count for updated stuff? This was episode 8. This was forever ago.
I found one that's through to the eviction episode.
We used to use the. Oh, you have it?
That has up until Riley's eviction.
Oh, perfect. Let's use that one then. Okay. What do you see? Or we can guess.
Yeah, why don't y'all guess first? Who has the most?
I think Rachel.
I think definitely Rachel has the most, or Vince.
Okay.
Yeah, Rachel or Vince, one of the two.
Okay, well, you're both correct. They are the top
Yes.
two.
And then least amount of current players is definitely Lauren. It's got to be. Oh, I see.
It's actually not.
It's Catherine. Okay.
It is.
Catherine has had 11 DRs.
Wow.
That's a 31. That's not an 11.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we need to.
That's a 3.
That's my bad. I was about to flip out. I was like, is that even possible? Like.
No, Kat's had 31.
Okay.
And then Lauren has had 54.
All right.
Which sounds kind of funny. But then Rachel's had 137 and Vince has had 134. So y'all were right there with that.
So Catherine has had what is that? 3? Like, so Rachel's had like 4 or 5 times the amount that.
Rachel's had literally over 100 more DRs than Kat. And we're barely halfway through the season.
That should be an indicator to Kat that like maybe I should be doing something. I don't know. But this is about what I expected though. Lauren having like an HOH reign definitely helped her because otherwise I don't know where she would stand. I feel like she would have about as many as Catherine at that point.
Well, that's where she got most of her. Look at her
yeah,
count,
that's
right?
her week.
This is her HOH week right here. This purple.
So
13 to 15 to 2, and then it goes 2 0 0 0 0 0 0.
So okay, let's
That's
pretend
crazy.
that if we pretended that she did not have that HOH reign, and let's say she got an average of like 2 instead. So that would be 12, 13, 25. So about 25 less DRs. So if she didn't win HOH, she definitely, I would imagine, would have less than Catherine at this point.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, that's cool. I'm glad we finally got to do a DR count. I hadn't checked up on this since I think like the second week, the last time that we really probably looked at that Instagram account, or the last time that Instagram posted it.
The fact that Jimmy has more.
Yeah. That's always what's fascinating this far in the game is how many people that are evicted have more DRs than the people that have been in the game for like weeks longer.
He has more than half the cast that's still in the game.
Yeah, Jimmy has 60 more DRs than Catherine, and Jimmy's been out of the game for like a month. It's wild.
It's been like 2 weeks, but okay.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Has it been 2 weeks?
Jimmy was followed by
Zach.
Adrian, I thought.
No, Jimmy was after Adrian.
I wouldn't have won Otev.
It was Zay, Amy, Adrian, Jimmy, Zach,
Rylie. Oh my God.
It feels like Jimmy was evicted a month ago.
Right. No, if I would have looked at this chart, though, you can clearly see that weeks 5 and 6 are the ones that Jimmy is not there, which is, by my accounts, 2 weeks. So yeah, maybe I should read.
Technically 3 now that this doesn't, because this doesn't have this week's on here. So
true. And 3 weeks is basically a month, so I don't think I'm wrong.
Sure.
All right. What else do y'all want to talk about? Nothing is an answer to. I think we've about exhausted
everything. I mean, those are the big things. Ashley really hasn't. Ashley's been there.
Ashley's doing good still. I mean, like in terms of, I think she is aware of what is happening in this game, even if she is frustrating to watch sometimes, and maybe doesn't have like the social awareness. But she had like an interesting moment where she talked about like she's just doing her Elle Woods impression basically in the beginning part of this game, and then she's going to get to jury and really kick it into high gear. And I'm really curious to see how much of that she has been like putting on, because I don't think it is as much as she thinks she is. So I'm really interested to see where she goes from here. She definitely has good reads of the house. We've seen her just like naturally clock who is aligned with who at every point. It's just not, her social standing in the game is not where it should be by any means, but she's a person that could definitely be a sleeper pick, I think, down the line. So I'm interested to see where Ashley goes. And we didn't talk about Mickey a whole lot. I think Mickey's been a kind of a stagnant point in the game where everyone's kind of ready to evict her if they do have the chance. They would have this week if they had the chance. And so and there's not much more to say. And then everyone else I feel like we talked about to a good degree. Cool. I will get Islands in the stream. Who do y'all want to go home this week?
Kelly.
Kelly's the right answer.
Thank you.
I feel like we haven't been doing all of the predictions, but that's okay. We're mere weeks away from doing our like second or third annual let's do all the final 2 scenarios that we possibly can, where we talk about it for like 5 hours. So I can't wait for that. So yeah, thanks everyone for being here. Thanks everyone for watching live or after the fact. Everyone that was in chat, thank you so much for being here. As always, this is way more fun to watch and talk about with all of you. Feel free to comment if you're watching after the fact, anything that you want us to talk about in the future, or if we were wrong about anything, tell me that too. That's fine. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. If you haven't liked this video, like it. That helps us a lot. It helps more people find us so we can chat with even more people next time. But regardless, if you want to keep up with us on any platform, those links are in the description below. Discord, the Facebook group, Blue Sky, we're on all those platforms. X, Zach's got a cool TikTok. Go check out that TikTok of Zach's. So yeah, episode Wednesday, episode Thursday, another eviction. We'll see what happens. We'll be back next Tuesday to recap that eviction, to talk about the rest of the week, and all of that. Cool. But thank you, Jules. First time tuning in after a while of being too busy. Really great show. Thanks, Jules. That means a lot. Join us next week, too. Could be fun. But
hit
yeah,
the subscribe button, like, comment.
Yes, all of that. All of the things again, even though I just said it. Zach.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
I think it's about time to say the thing. To say the thing that you always say, so we can get out of here.
Perception is reality. Our reality.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.